soft start for a lot of those sides. See here for first squad. They tried their hand at maybe getting active at Train in game number 1. Wasn't successful here. So now they find themselves in a little bit of a sandwich here at Main Street.
Right above you, they're going to try and make their way on over, take top bank. Athletic will be on the nearby, but down here at Train, I'm looking, and T1, spam and disrupt, they're still here. I am sensing a distinct lack of vitality, as I think maybe you lost this contest here on map number 2, so a much better start to this game from the boys in the UK.
Yeah, certainly feels that way. Vitality will be recovering towards the south side of the map. For first squad, it's Bank, typically where Athletic are located. And Axidas and Kyrios will lay waste to 2 key bays. Off in the front man, though, it's Zangs that you really want to unearth. That's the anchor that you're trying to shift out of the map, and that will force Athletic into a bit of a panic station situation. But you're going to slow it down if you are first squad. Just peer on over and figure out the lay of the land around you, because if you take a look at that mini-map top left, Main Street's really bloody busy, guys.
Yeah, this Northwest Zone poll has just had so many people. Nobody's in Lumber Mill right now, for the record. Nobody wants to be there. Barely anybody's in Coal Depot. Everybody is playing on this Main Street side. So with that, you have to be on your P's and Q's if you want to try and stay alive. Zanks down below, thinks he can get maybe a little bit of an opening on this first squad team, but trade is there. Self-revive will come through, and you're A-okay.
Well, that'll be Athletic out of it straight away. They're done. First team dealt with. First squad will actually lay claim to them. And what a story that is. Athletic have built their way to one of the best teams in recent scrims and struggling at the early stages here in Paris. Obviously, long ways to go. Nothing to be too concerned about, but first squad, they get out the bad map 1, looking a little bit better here to start 2. Let's take a look at Kudley. They're at Barn. They'll square off against FaZe. It's back and forth. It's something we're kind of used to by now. Woo! Great work by the Irishman to drop Dizzy. And now his teammates will try and rotate and trade this out. But you're 3v2 up in the fight.
Yeah, Season 5 came out, VST into the meta, and this thing burns, baby. And you see a nice little fadeaway there. Dizzy finding himself at the end of it, but the fun doesn't stop already. Mati gets a sense he's getting surrounded here. Nade will go down. You try and stop the push. Kudley, he's going to back on up. You swing with the teammate. You find one more. Mati gets dropped. It's one last player from FaZe that's kind of lurking around here, but all 3 members of H1 still up at this barn area. They're holding a lot of space, and I think if they can sort of clear out FaZe here, they might just kind of be able to put their head on a swivel, look Mansion, look down at Main Street, and just kind of pick up players as they start to cross.
No, for sure. If you can get that advanced UAV into the air right now, you're going to be able to hold out a lot of teams, pick up a lot of points, and set yourself up for a great map too. First squad, we've just talked about the work they've done, finding Athletic. You have got yourselves plenty of pressure. This is Gen G. Squad rotated in from boat early. They know this lay of the land. They've been playing around Main Street the entire year. Aiden, though, not expecting the drop out. Actually, that's great work from him initially, but Gabe's there on the instant trade. Lovely positioning from the fragger turn anchor. Reaper's trying to get involved. And that's over aggressive. Lennon plays clean up. So first squad set back in, off into the waters, and Gen G will mop up a lot here at Main Street. Great work. Not risking a third party just yet. Buy stations nearby can set themselves up for the next phase of play.
That plays from Gen G. You set up the crossfires. You're doing A-okay. But let's take a look. You can see Ravens currently lead the lobby as they are going to hold on to Mansion. Blast does get dropped. I know you see squad wipe on your screen there, but you got one last player up in the sky, so don't worry. Twisted Mind fans, they are not out yet, but this map does not look like it's going too great for them, if I'm going to be honest. As we kind of grow to a little bit of a crawl here. Zone 2 continues to end, and already just players trying to fight for space.
Fan will die. They'll be the second team out of this lobby, lose that initial contest upon to H1, and never recovered from there. CT Gaming in this fight on the rooftops against Heretics. Vita just trying to buy a little bit of space to keep himself alive and allow that resurgence timer to tick through. Get his boys back in the mix. Ravens struggling. Great work from King Chog. Finds Almond, the second turn, shots on, but there is going to be a heady available for Blast! King Chog, will get his boys back in. It's not done just yet. Heretics are still squeezing up behind this, but you've at least got Nielsen and he's back into the fray.
I mean, if Nielsen can find a gun, we've seen him do miracles with the last pistol in hand. He gets the armor crack. I almost thought he was able to bring down Zeppa. Great little moment there for the Heretics to just basically be able to hear that fight going on. It's a swing. You're watching this battle come on between Ravens and some of those members of T1. And you get that kill, you're going to be able to find one more. So good job from Heretics just to kind of hold the line. On the other side, though, Aiden, he will get found out by Axidas as this first squad Gen G battle kind of continues to rage here at Main Street. You do have Gabe Kuhn from above looking out over you. You need to have some semblance of setup here if you are Gen G, because they are just on the outside of zone. They still need to gain a little bit of position.
Yeah, great work here, Gen G, in the gunfight. But if you look at the light pink on your minimap, that's actually Stallions. They're trying to play holdout. So all these teams are fighting right now. They're likely going to have to get past them at some point, and in bits and pieces for most of these squads right now. So a tough situation, and the gas is just going to creep everybody forward. Into the back we go. Your backyard, basically, if you are Gen G for much of this year, but you're under pressure. Do well to keep all three on your feet.
The fact that Aiden gets in the window there is huge, and Gabe, he flies on out from that little bit of a scaffolding. Will drop down Q8Z, nothing, and get the confirm. So Gen G, you get the players, you're grouped on up, you're able to find one from this Stallions roster, but you can see on your minimap there, Andy's, he's reacting for a reason, because we are just continuously ripping these teams to the left side of the map.
Shifty taps away behind the DC, and we'll get the drop, and that's Heretics wiped. They're done. So great amount of points, I think, initially, but fall far earlier than you would have liked. You're still on the 1x multiplier. A bit of a do-si-do between Fede and Tequila. Squad 12 out here as well, and down you go. Vita tries to get himself back to ground. So many squads now looking for a safety pocket of land, but with 12 teams in the mix, 32 players up, and such little land mass, everybody being forced into fights that they really would rather not take. Blastity's just about gets himself into some semblance of cover, and Shifty and Orman will try and get their boots to ground to support the rotation out, but it's all hard work from here.
Mansion, a great POI until you got to move out of it. Everybody just putting their sights over towards this area. You see, just as you kind of hop up on a wall, you're getting laser beamed. So for the time being, Twisted Minds, they know they have to clear out this bottom side. Shifty, it's a great easy kill onto Vortex. Use some of those nades, follow it on up, and with those kills and a couple more coming in on the back, it looks like that might be Novo making another early exit. Still, two teams need to drop to get into that 1.2 multiplier. But Twisted Minds, they still have to continue to fight their way out of Mansion. On the other side of the map, you can see Gen G, they have to continue moving, but they got PBJ in their way. Believe it's a shoulder throw on the stairs. You break, but from behind, look who's starting to get active. It's Geeke. They want a piece of this fight. Jay Bella slides on down. He's going to find the end of the gun from Aiden. Can you get this res in time? Can you protect it? Aiden, he's looking on over. It's coming on through. You know that Field Medic is coming in clutch right now, getting that faster revive. Gen G get their feet back underneath them though. However, Geeke, they're continuing to find these pockets of timing. Plays, jumps on in. You're going to be able to find the end of the gun because Vitality, they're looking to hold this entire fight.
Yeah, Vitality are just holding everybody. The problem that they now face is H1 are rotating over from Bond. So put on a view at the chapel and how the dominoes shall fall. That's going to give Gen G the moment, the window to escape out. They shall shift. Almond is somehow still alive. He's though deep gas, and he's just going to try and keep himself up with the stims. Nerfed, of course, so he's got to get moving. Grime is going to go high. Just about stays up, and that should be the death sentence for Ormond.
Yeah, he does his great job. You can see Blast was still alive. He's also out in the gas too, so Grimy, he's going to have an idea that maybe there's an additional Twisted Minds player out here, and he's in a solid little spot, can just continue to play that top gazebo. Stim will come on in. It's just enough to make sure that you don't get taken out by the gas, but for Twisted Minds, you find a little bit of success here, but it just feels like every time we tune on in, they are always on the back foot. And T1, we take a look at Train. Well, they're feeling good because Disrupt's on 9.
Yeah, there's about 5 or 6 bodies out in these waters, and T1 do want all of these kills. This is great for them. At some point, though, they have to turn their attention to holding Train out and stopping all the teams rotating for them. So it's now about pivoting. It's about decision-making on what is most important and prioritizing those gunfights. But Disrupt, he's banging away. He's on double digits, and we're only inside the top 10, so many more points and kills yet on the board.
Dude, they just got to keep their head on a swivel, and it is a feeding fish frenzy for them. Fede, he'll get dropped at the hands of StuKX on that other side, and Disrupt, he's got an idea that that's what's going on here. 4,000 damage for the young man, and there's still 9 teams in this lobby. Clear out one side, focus on the other. VP pushing in from this pond area. They want to make sure that they do not get taken out from an angle that they are not expecting of. Just kind of hold the line for the time being.
Well, they've held this northern side of the circle for a long time. They initially stopped players rotating out of Mansion freely, and that's given them a pocket of space. Now back to your feet, just up as a 3. Destroy has 5. Adrian on nothing. Not a surprise, really, as he's the anchor. It's all about Grimey's involvement thus far, but if you're pushing double digits at this point and you're looking towards that 1.4, not a bad place to be. H1, they'll be finished off. Netod, CT, doing far better in the early stage than we would have expected, but Adrian probably going to cut that to an end here. Circle's going to pull everybody further down towards trains. A little bit of water to play with. And again, just further south via T1, that's your big threat if you are this VP side.
I mean, Echo, he calls it a PA, looks like on the other side. He's found 2 members of Vitality as well. And just already, VP, they're just going to look to kind of hold this. Not really much going on there, but I'd love to take a look at T1 because they have so many squads ahead of them that are trying to rotate into zone. Gen G being one of them, GK being another, and you still have 1 member of Vitality on the edge.
Yeah, and Disrupt is just picking everything apart. GK's finished. Right now, for VP, they're just trying to figure out what their most important threat is. They're aware that VP are a full team on the other side. That drop now should push Fam and Echo over towards the buy station, where there is 1 remaining player for Vitality. They got to get there quickly because gas is currently falling over it. And what you don't want to do is hand all the space over to VP, who are here and are laying claim to all the land that Lennon and Gabe Kuhn possess.
The patience from VP to just hold this low ground is so critical. You can see already, because they were just sticking down here, they already see that you have Gen G moving on over. But look at this. While all of this fighting is happening, Skullface, he's the last player of Vitality alive, and he's actually going to get the zone pull. If he has the cash, he might be able to tuck himself in a corner, hit that buy station, get the teammates back on in. But it's a quick wrap from Virtus Pro. Hold the high ground. Take down the rest of these teams. It's a 1.4 multiplier for everybody. You got to grab that 1.6, and Lennon, he's actually going to find the down on Spam.
Yes, Spam does have himself. Should get himself back to his feet.
Oh my God!
Goes huge in the back line. Finds a window, slips out through the lower panels, and gets himself the kills. 1v1, v3, VP, hold it all in their hands.
Skullface. He's named Logan for a reason. The claws are out. Call him the Wolverine. A nice little 2-piece. Huge points on the board for them. But like you said, it might have been a heroic play, but it's Spam Gola. It's Skullface, the 2 lone soldiers. If they can somehow manage to work together to cut down these players of VP, this would be huge. The problem here, Enigma, VP is in such a good spot. But Adrian, he gets a little bit active. He flies forward. However, he will find Skullface. That is wiped. Final 2 teams here. It's a 3v1. You just got to find Spam. Spam's going to be able to find Adrian. 2v1. Shots coming on through. It's Destroy from that backside. It's a barrel stuff with the CBRS. You drop them. Virtus Pro, they'll take game number 2, and you can see the look on Destroy. He's happy. He's a little expectant on that one.
Yeah, we talked so much about this Virtus Pro team in the build-up to this tournament. Fantastic stage 1, lit up the scene in Birmingham, struggled massively through stage 2, and a very public falling out between them. But they come here to Paris having made up. They're a unit again, understanding the roles that they're going to play in, and their game plan there was perfection. Typically a server landing side, they alternate over to a pawn drop when the circle goes that way, and they get aggressive towards Mansion. That man on your screen right there holds the players out, ensures that there's no pressure on them. They can just loot up pawns, set themselves up for the late stages, and it's slow and systematic moving with the gas from there. And once they took high ground, you never felt like they were going to let that one go.
It's kind of that classic, that's what you love to see. You know, you're holding this low ground, but watch this. I mean, we got to talk about this again. Skull just lining up Lennon and Gabe, and he tries to put down this DC. We see him do this time and time again, but it's just, you know, Skullface is a great player. It's unfortunate you can't find the last 2 members of Virtus Pro there, but just some fantastic movement. They realize what they need to do. It's all about just not scamming in that moment.
Basically.
And you know the D is he's in the comms. He's saying, probably yelling exactly that. Don't scam, play as a team. Let's push this player together.
Well, this is somewhere where they've improved so much, because if anyone who's been watching throughout this season remembers back towards stage 1, even before stage 1, when we were in the essential preseason, there was a lot of talks about how some of their players would scam, fly forward and get involved in the fights that they just didn't need to do, but that shows the maturity and how this team looks so much better here in Paris.
Looking very, very good. That's our last map of Haven's Hollow that we have, ladies and gentlemen. So we got to get ready to head on into map number 3. Players getting in the lobby. We're going to be right back here in a little bit.
Everyone is playing, you're not. yet. EWC Play is your all-in-one platform to compete in fantasy, pick'em, and quests for a grand total of $300,000 in prize pool. Build your dream fantasy team in 5 different games and track your score with live results tables. Predict the winner of every game, every group stage, and every tournament. Complete daily and weekly challenges to earn boosters that help you climb the global leaderboard. Got what it takes? Join EWC Play now.
What's up, everybody? I got one of the sickest players and one of the most twisted minds in the game, Shifty, with me. I mean, my guy, you've been in Paris for a while. Do you feel like you're acclimated to the environment? You ready to get on this main stage? You feeling like a local yet?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even look at the Eiffel Tower when I walk by it anymore. But, yeah, we've been here for a while. We had a really good boot camp. I think those are very essential to big lands like this. So, yeah, we've been here for a while. We feel good. Time zone's no issue for us. We're just ready to play.
I mean, you guys look ready to play, okay? I walked over there to you on the main stage. You and the whole squad up here singing 8 Mile, okay? Getting locked in. So that must mean the vibes are high.
Yeah, I mean, I think our team is just full of vibes. I think that's why we love LAN, like, compared to, like, the online. We're all really good friends. So, you know, we've had a great time this week and a half that we've been here just vibing. And, yeah, we're just running through the 8 Mile, you know, the little rap battle with each other, just messing around. But, yeah, we're all good friends. We're having a good time.
Hey, y'all having a good time, but as we know, this is a serious weekend, okay? It's big money on the table. It's a lot of pride out there. It's a lot of just earning respect from the community. I mean, what are you planning on bringing to the table, to the squad, to the lobby, for the Twisted Mind fans out there in your gameplay?
I'm just trying to bring experience. You know, I mean, I've played this game for about 6 years now, so I'm vetty, you know what I mean? That's what they call me. You know, I've been in these situations a lot. I right now hold the most world championship wins, so I've been here, I've done it. I know Alman has won one. Rasim's looking for his first. So just kind of bringing that, you know, that calmness to the team and just that readiness of like, yo, we've done the prep. We know we should be here. Who cares about last month? You know, we had a little iffy period of time, but like we're here, we're ready, and just be locked in the moment and just play our game.
Hey, man, you are absolutely locked. I can see the aura around you right now. You are cool, calm, and collected. Hell, you got me even more cool, calm, and collected right now. Best of luck to you, brother.
Thank you.
And of course, match 2 was nothing but absolute chaos, where we had Virtus Pro holding that northern side of Mansion, and they were playing the long game. They managed to get a couple of kills in the chaos that was unfolding in Mansion, but look, they played it good. They played it till the end, and Virtus Pro did take it out. But look, let's have a look at like Vitality. Obviously, they came out kicking and swinging as well, Shift, and this is something that they needed to do, especially coming out of match 1.
Yeah, I think, you know, what we're going to see, and for those that have been following 3WC in the years prior, we often get wherever you spawn in at, the final circle ends on you, you're probably going to be fine to finish in the top 5. The biggest key has been who's able to rotate better, who's able to find those kills as the zone starts to force you away from your drop location. So you get a couple of teams that are blessed, but I think most importantly, our teams that just finished 1 and 2, both just missed out on the top 5. So again, just kind of reiterating that point that if you get a drop spot that it ends on you, you better be finishing high.
And didn't I hear you in the pre-show say something about Ravens might not make that contest? And I look, against Twisted Minds, I don't know, in match number 2, Heretics actually joined the party there. And I mean, Ravens were able to hold off 2 of these big teams.
Yeah, and that's just a big shout, I think, to Heretics as well, to not be afraid to jump into the mix against some of our top dogs that are out there. And look, Lacey, you may not know me all that well. I'm all about finding spicy takes. So if it is one of those situations I did look like an idiot, it's going to be like my airball from earlier today. But for Ravens, it is one of those things that, yes, their kill participation is high. You get a first round win. That's huge towards being able to kind of quell some of the questions surrounding can they close a map. Now it's going to be down to how do they handle things like rotation, because that's going to be the big key, especially as we change what map we have.
And I'm going to be here to always call you out on your hot takes.
Thank you.
Well,
I'm going to need that.
I will always hold you accountable. Now, who we're going to hold accountable? Of course, we're going to get into match number 3. Enigma, Dandro, let's take it away.
Hey, thank you so much, Lace and Shift. They were right. We are getting ready to head to a new map, my friend.
We are.
Bidding adieu to Haven's Hollow, just here in Group A, as we get ready to move on everybody's favorite Resurgence map. I say that tongue-in-cheekly. Rebirth Island. We've been here before. We've been here for years. We know what to expect on this map. But for maybe the uninitiated at home, how do you expect maybe this first map here on Rebirth Island to play out?
Well, I think there's 2 stories in terms of the leaderboard. Ravens are one of our best. best Rebirth teams, and they have been for some time. They are sitting right towards the top, so expect that gap to potentially grow as we go on through these next 2 maps. For a team towards the bottom end of proceedings right now, Eclectic, disappointing in our first 2 maps. They're really good here, the 3rd best team that we have in the entire 32 at the tournament when it comes to Rebirth Island, so this is where they have to get their afternoon going. But in terms of drops, the contest, look to the control center. FaZe Clan, Gold Clamp has been holding that thing down for years. That guy don't leave those bricks and mortar. But VP and Novo, they'll contest over the boat nearby and then try and lay siege to control centers. 3 teams jostling over there. Off towards the northeastern side, T1 expected to be contested by Stallions in Bio, and it's between them, Gen G and Heretics to try and claim that corner, then move on down the map.
Hey, a lot of battling is going to happen here on Rebirth Island, but a team that obviously they feel pretty good here on Rebirth, Twisted Minds. Okay, they looked pretty solid there through those first 2 games. Currently sitting in 7th overall from Haven's Hollow. Kind of maybe getting the shakes out a little bit. Game number 2 didn't go maybe exactly how they wanted to, but a chance here on Rebirth Island to reset the mental, reset the opportunity, get those points on the board. So let's get ready. Let's hop on in here to, ladies and gentlemen, to map number 3 on Rebirth Island. We get a nice little bit of a look at what's happening here as VP gonna play down towards that boat side, is Grimy starting to lurk his way up in this contest here, but guess what? You're not the only player here. You've been able, you fire, you find Dizzy, but look at that Novo. They also are going to actually control that main center building.
Yeah, Grimy basically sent in there as a bit of a Trojan horse. He won't find a route through. Destroyed Agent, just set themselves up over at the boat, but that zone, by the way, pulling off towards the northwestern side, so all the teams I just talked about, your T1s, your Gen Gs, them fighting over your chemicals and bioweapons, very important for the later stage of this map. Stronghold, you got to fight here. Vitality have changed things up. Usually land living, they've decided they want a piece of PBJ, and Smitty's getting active.
I like this. We've seen them, like you said, playing out of living. They move away from that control center fight, so to see them make this realization of just given where the zone is going, we need to clear out PBJ. It's 2 members of Vitality who are going to maybe trying to start to float down here, get a little bit mixy, see if you can wipe them early, clear out your backside. You will get sniffed out though on this turbine area. This is going to be a hotbed of activity as well. Welcome back to the island, ladies and gentlemen, because water pistols are out. They are singing, and there's none other than CT Gaming who love to make that happen. Obs trying to throw some shoulders, and well, the timing does not go your way.
Certainly doesn't. By the way, an important fight that went on off screen. Novo have completely taken control center very early here, shifted FaZe Clan the hell out, and that now gives them control over the buy stations. Everything that Virtus Pro were fighting for the boat doesn't really matter anymore. They have to push forward. Look on over towards the Ravens. They'll land HQ. King Chalk's on the roof of prison, and he's looking, just keep an eye on Twisted Minds, who like to land factory and start to squeeze up on them.
Yeah, Blast, he's already started made his way over to Grandma's. So got your 2 members, Shifty, Almond, down there at that factory side. And King Chalk, he sees these smokes go out. He's like, somebody's got to be around here somewhere. Maybe just waiting for somebody to scam a little bit, but Vitality's starting to move on up here as well. Looking to find a bit of a timing. Blast, he's caught flat-footed. He's Neeson, they'll line on up, and they've been able to take him down. And look at this, immediately the eyes go down towards that factory side, and it looks like the loadout is gonna try and get acquired here, but are you ready for exactly this? Shifty just plays the stairs, pops on up, finds Heeds, and you're gonna deny that loadout just for a quick little moment.
Yeah, gotta be careful here, by the way. Eclectic are taking a look over at this. Keybase fancied a little bit. Zang's on the rooftop. Never mind, they've overstrayed. They'll be sent packing for now. Both Almond and Stukex actually shoot Keybase, so we'll see them in a little bit. But let's take a look at this H1 team then. They've moved from their harbor landing into Chem. Not only that, they completely lay waste to Gen G, who had given Chem for free, a really important part of the map for what will come for later circles. So all of a sudden, H1 go from a really dubious landing spot we've talked about somewhere no one should be all year to into one of the best spots potentially for map 2. Ooh. And a great initial from Koodley on Lennon to continue to lock down that space.
Yeah, you can see you got a member of Gen G just flying in from the sky. I think maybe the idea there was Lennon can at least find one and to get the other player to fly on in and maybe help out, but just not going to be the case. Still down here towards the stronghold side. Already Adrian, VP, they're getting into the mix now. Continuing just to weave yourself in around this boat, because you can see already it's been some of this first squad team that's looking to get active. Adrian does not let you swim away that easily. They'll drop you in the water, clean up the kill. Virtus Pro, you're still in zone. They got control of this boat. They don't need to really move right now.
No, they're fine for now, but this next circle will likely tell them they've got to shift it up the coast a bit, and it certainly does. So Adrian taking damage, concerning signs. And he and Destroy will have to navigate a path up this rocky mass that exists in front of them. Turbine, CT Gaming, T1. The battle goes on. T1, Disrupt will drop to Killer. The thing is as well, Disrupt's basically got a free life. You've gained so much space. Echo and Spam have basically the entire northwestern corner to themselves. So Disrupt is just, okay, don't worry about it. I'll go off, find a couple of kills. If I get dropped, I'll come back in for my loadout where my boys currently sit. A great plan from them so far. Can they continue to execute?
Hey, I know we're not in Haven's Hollow anymore, but it looks like the Ravens and Twisted Minds continuing to battle it out here at the factory side. Blast, he's going to be able to find one. Slides on out on Niasen, but Niasen will put you on down. And it looks like just no opportunity for any of the other Twisted Minds players to play a bit of a trade. You see one flying in from above. Shifty's playing down below, so for Ravens, they're going to control this rooftop as much as they can and actually back on over towards headquarters where Almond has landed to fight Heats. It's a little bit of an anchor on anchor action here. A huge fight for either of these rosters.
Yeah, Almond does incredibly well to stay alive in the moment because if you are the Ravens, you really want to press Shifty in numbers. However, because Almond's gone and harassed Heeds, you have to drop back and clear out, protect your anchor, and this is why King Chalk now is moving over as well. And Almond's just staying alive, just being a thorn in the side. Let the timer tick through, let my boys back in. One of those things doesn't exist on a scoreboard, but it's great leadership in a very important moment.
Whoa. Semtex goes up. Unfortunately, Almond, he's not there. He has an inkling. Somebody's got to go up for that ladder. He does great to find one. Just the timing not going your way just enough. Heeds will slide on out, clears out Almond. So he'll settle the time here, but those shots are already starting to attract some of the members of PBJ. You can see they're starting to look on over. And they might try and hold the line here.
FaZe Clan just trying to find which way they should take the fight. Novo got Blade up, he's hidden inside. Marty just trying to get aggressive, runs into far too much traffic. Blade recognizes the moment of third party. Dizzy now understands that the Italian's beneath him. He's by his lonesome. And it will, of course, be VP. Just taking a sniff at this. Can we third party? Do we need to spend a lot of time here? But you could get some clean exit kills. Shut these boys off astray. And Dizzy, he decides to not waste any time with the timer. And immediately buys his boy back in.
Yeah, I like that play. You know, you could wait. You could try and just get the timers on down. You can wait for this fire sale that's about to come in here in just a quick moment. But nope, says I want to go ahead. I want to try and spend the cash. But I don't know. That might have been all for naught because both of your teammates are dead. Clamp is last alive. He's just trying to stay alive on white health only in the water in a very peculiar situation. We lose two different teams. FaZe that we just watched being one of them here. And already, still 14 squads in the lobby.
Yeah, the other one of those teams is Vitality. They actually go out first, so not too much to worry about. They're sitting second overall on the leaderboard. Top 5 at the end of 12 will mean you move straight through to finals. As long as you avoid the bottom 3, you do see the survival stage. So not too much to be concerned about, but yeah, it could be better here on Rebirth Island. Novo looking hot. They've moved their way out of the control center, won it early, and now squeezing with the gas. Fede's on 7. Take a look at Gen G. Lennon has managed to clean up what was left of the Koodley roster, the H1 roster. And now just trying to buy time. Find a little pocket. Boys, can you get in? Can you get some loot? And can we build our way into this map?
This is a great way to do it. Already was looking a little worse for wear earlier. But like you mentioned, I'm glad they were able to get their feet underneath them. Continuing to hold this area of the map after maybe losing it earlier. But Novo, after clearing out control center, they know there's going to be some players down here in this water underneath Turbine. Can they work together? Unfortunately for you, you got Eclectic pushing from behind. You'll lose Vortex, so you have to clean up these kills fast. Put yourself in great position to hold the line. Two members of Eclectic starting to make their way forward. Freddy, Keybase, it's a full fly on in. You take a lot of damage though. And how do you decide to open up this fight as there are now about 4 different teams just in this one little small patch of land?
Yeah, the PA forces them all indoors as well, which allows then Keybase to get to the rooftops and claim so you can move on down through the layers. Blade's going to lose the fight underneath to Orbs. Zeppa also finds access. That's a Monster Madness. So Fede, he senses it. There's red dots. I'm going to go chasing them. There's nothing better for this boy to be doing right now with the form he's in. Swings. Keybase just about stays up. Italian on Italian action. They'll call it a draw for now. But Vortex is cracked, needs to find his way out. The Molotovs are doing the damage, but no! Vortex, Freddy, Blade, they all get active, and they cut down the players in front of them to lay claim to Turbine.
Novo finds such a good timing there. It's just a slingshot movement between the two players to take down those members of Eclectic, but the action doesn't stop yet. You may have control of this top side, but you got a couple of fish underneath you that are just trying to stay alive. You can see Zeppa, he's swimming around, so is Teeny. And already, can you manage to stay alive? We know that this is a strat that we see year over year here in the ESports World Cup, and Zeppa, hey, we knew some players were going to do this. He's got a loadout Coda in hand just for these moments in the water.
Yeah, he is going nuclear for this side. Teeny on 3, so this squad on at least 15, could be pushing 20. Rebirth Island offers so many more kills than the other maps. The top teams are struggling here. Virtus Pro drop out early as well. They're one of our top sides after Haven's Hollow. And this is how the rotation has evolved things here in Call of Duty Warzone for the Resurgence series. And everyone feeling a little bit of that on land. But Gen G, they've re-established themselves here at Chemical, and this is where the zone's moving to, so this is win condition.
Yes.
Gotta find a way to anchor yourselves in and repel all invaders.
This is kind of one of those unfortunate situations where, sure, you gain the power position for this endgame zone, but you now have to just focus on so many different areas. It's going to be tough to decide where you want to go. But hey, the action's been hot, it's been heavy. Let's go ahead, let's see how the boys are feeling from Gen G.
I don't think you do.
They can't. I see what you're saying.
We're gonna get kills as the game goes along.
There's still 11 teams up, bro. Everyone's just backing it.
I'm gonna re-hit the roof for more stims on the ground.
Okay.
I'm looking at office, kind of.
Alright. We're only on 5, but it's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, we're still safe.
You gotta prolong the game.
Wait.
Top 10.
Yo.
I might peek the door up and watch my right. I heard a wall.
Not a lot of comms coming out of Gen G, but you heard them say, just let everybody fight. We're only on 5, but it's okay.
Yeah, they lost that chem fight early, and since then they've been in a bit of a regain situation. They understand they're probably out-tooled, and right now looking to play around as much multiplier as possible. And I like the comms being quiet. No need to get over-aggressive in them, no need to panic. Just slow everything down, let the map deal with itself, and find yourself in the later stages of this one. Athletic finished. They will drop inside that top 10 to the 1.2, but miss out on the 1.4. Nearson buys Lonesome, and only $100 in pocket. Barely enough for a Happy Meal, let alone get his boys back in amongst the mix. He's going to play Industries here. We'll run into Novo, but if he gets the timing through the backside, drops one or two of these players, of which he's more than capable, could hit the buy station nearby.
And look at Twisted Minds. They're now here on this sort of top floor of Chemical as well. You have Gen G down below. Geek's in the mix. Everybody is just holding on. There's no movement. Shifty's actually going to be the one to drop Neosin. And just like that, everybody is just waiting for these 2 additional teams to drop to get to that 1.4 multiplier.
The Stallions on the outside. Twisted Minds with the rooftops. Gen G in the trenches. One member of Geek, one member of T1. The bodies start to get moving and active, and Stallions have made a massive wrap because the zone's gone huge. It's dragged all the way across, and Lazy's going to be behind everybody and gets active to drop Shifty.
Oh my God, he has so much patience. He watches both of them go ahead of them. Eventually he'll get found out by Lennon though, gets dropped. That's going to be Geek eliminated. Now you have Novo and Stallions. They have to start to battle it out as well. Cluster goes up in over the top, but you can see for Novo, it's been such a good game for them. They wipe the Stallions. We are now into the top 5, 1.4 secured.
I love the idea from the Stallions getting the move early. Novo are already here. The problem is that they're now down to just the one player. Played stands tall for them, but Lennon will not. But Gen G gave dead as well. Gen G, they're done. Not many points on the board at all. A tough one here to kick off Rebirth Island. Twisted Minds have found themselves at the top, but it's actually PBJ with a full 3 in the belly of Industries.
All they have to do is just not get isolated. If all 3 members of PBJ can stay up, that would be huge. But look where the zone pulls. It's going to force everybody out of this Industries area. Believe on that backside, trying to make this early rotation, cuts down Blade. That's another team eliminated. These players are looking at the top right. They're doing the math. They're saying, wait a second here. The numbers aren't adding up. The numbers, Mason, where are they? As you're now realizing that you might be the only team of 3 up. Shots on that top helipad side. Almond will cut down Vortex, and Believe finds Spam, and just like that, you actually bring this back into a 3v3 thanks to her Herculean effort coming on in. Shifty, Almond blast up. You find two members of PBJ, and just like that, it was PBJ's game to lose. Now it's a 3v1, and Twisted Minds come back from the grave to secure the win.
Yeah, not the best start if you are Twisted, but look at that man there. When it felt like Ravens were turning the screw, looking to get them out of the factory, Almond plays spoiler, sets himself up around the anchor, lets not only his boys back into fight, but drags the pressure away. From there, they could build themselves into the rest of the map, and that's why we see them in the late stages. Great execution in the end. They rotate early. Almond on that flank, clears out the helipad, and then you have the high ground and all the power that comes with it. So great stuff. Again, this is their best map currently. They've had turmoil, they've had issues. Those have been very public, but they are still a solid rebirth side all the same. And considering that they were already having a pretty solid Havens Hollow, that map should shift them right up the standings. They'll be feeling pretty.
Yeah, they are going to be feeling A-okay after that. You can see already a little cool, a little calm, a little collected here. Gen G having some talks maybe after that game as well. Players, I think, just maybe taking a little bit of a breath here after that first game of Rebirth Final and look at a chance, you know, maybe recenter themselves if they need. And for some of these teams, they definitely need it there. I mean, we got to take a little bit of a look at it. We get to this moment where it's Almond. You can see here with this zone pull, he made that play all the way back to the buy station on the courtyard, and now he's going to be able to find those kills. Let's take a little bit of a look and listen in at the end of that game.
On the board. What'd I say? Good shit, man. Really good job. So fuck I'm talking about, bro. I'm gonna say Gen G got wiped hella early and no one took it.
We hear it come through there on the board, getting, you know, feeling good about themselves right now. We've talked a lot about the comms issues that these guys have had at points. There's still a little bit of the chemistry in terms of pacing issue that we saw. We see it again in Havens Hollow, but they are very comfortable here in Paris. There are no dangers, sorry, for them thus far, and there are no strangers to the main stage. So they're fine. They're doing their thing right now, and that'll put them in a position to move on through to Sunday should they continue on this path.
Yeah, I mean, really fantastic play there from Almond to be able to do that. But PBJ, they had all of that bottom industry side, man. It was like you saw them, they were clearing it out. You saw Believe had the right idea, just kind of maybe take that wide wrap, but just at the end of the day, it's just, it kind of gets away from them, I feel like.
Well, this is where Almond does a great job because he recognizes something. He understands that zone could pull either towards the north, south, east, west, and he's trying to put himself in a spot to rotate very early. When it pulls back inland, he wraps the helicopter side, drops that vortex up high, and then he's got the look over and set up for his team. So great stuff from him.
Well, hey, we're going to go ahead and hear from one of those players already in an interview. Let's go ahead and see what they have to say.
I can speak good.
All right, everybody, show some love to Ravens Esports out there. I got Nason with me on the main stage. Nason, I mean, you guys come out and pick up where you left off at from the last major. You come in, you win in map number 1. How did it feel to start the day off right?
It feels good to win the first game of this tournament. Amazing tournament too. So yeah.
I know it felt good, and you guys look good up there, feeling comfortable right now. 3 games down so far. Are you guys just going to keep doing what you've been doing over the next 3 maps, or what you guys want to change going into the second half?
Yeah, we're going to play the same, maybe another top 1, I hope. And yeah, that's it.
And that's it. Now, you know, this is you got the hometown crowd in your favor. You know, one of the top French teams out there, the top French team out there. Anything you want to say to these fans out there, even at the halfway point, and you can speak in French?
Merci tous les frères d'être venus. Je vous aime trop. Vous êtes mes frères. Tout le monde, tous les Français, les gars.
EWC Play app. This is download for free everywhere. iOS, Android, Google Play Store, everywhere you can get your hands on that app. Go download it right now, log in, lock in your pick'ems. Seymour, it's going to be a great day today, and hopefully chat's able to win some of that prize pool if you lock in the correct pick'ems. We will see you out there for the Warzone Resurgence Series Championship. Good luck.
My G Ninja.
Seymour with the solid pickups too in regards to T1. He was able to perform well. By the way, if you are currently joining, don't forget to join the Esports Foundation Creator Program. You'll get a chance to go there, sign up, and just earn rewards by live streaming to your community. And there's some amazing rewards that a lot of people have been joining. Make sure you scan that QR code.
Is it pattern now, Ninja? Yeah, is it working?
And we might end up interviewing you on the final day. We've gotten a chance to interview a couple people in previous weeks, but let's get back to Warzone because Seymour, T1, heck man, that was a hell of a pick to start off with. Thanks for joining us, by the way, Miles, Seymour, none other than Shift, and myself, the 7WG. How are you feeling so far about the T1 pick?
Feeling good. I mean, they look fantastic. You're getting some final circles out of them. They're making some right calls, especially off their drops. You see Spams turning up for his Rookie of the Year tournament. And, I mean, I couldn't be happier. I think a lot of people are going to be happy with their pick'ems. Twisted Mind's having a great day. Ravens are having a great day. T1, I think all the teams that are expected to perform in Group A are performing.
Come on, Ninja, my broski, man. What's good, family?
Twisted Minds, talking about that squad. I mean, especially this last game, being able to actually come out with the win. But the first two games, they were still able to put up good points, too. First game, second place.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see the top teams when the ending circle is on their drop spot. They're going to finish in the top 5 without question. For me, it's just their ability to regain in that last drop. Because in map 2, they were not able to successfully do that. So to be able to find a position to get kills, get into a position to get to a final circle, and then find a way to finesse it to win it against teams that are already set up is really, really impressive, and that checks all the boxes in terms of things you want to see for a team to win a championship.
Hey, you got to do this again and again and again and again and again. Consistency, the name of the game right now. And hey, we like what we've seen. Top placements, a couple of good big scoring games. And again, to go back to the rookie conversation, we're seeing solid performances about these kids on their very first tournaments, and this is exactly what you want at the biggest competition of the year.
And I think even, like, you talk about EWC just in the pressure, you got the crowd, you got rookies.
Wait, Ninja, wait. Is this World Series of Warzone you're trying to say? And they're not going to do it publicly? Is that what you're trying to tell me, guy?
And I think just kind of on top of that, some of the teams that we expect to do well have done well, but we had a couple of teams that I know that, like, in the green room were chatting about saying, like, let's see what happens. Eclectic is one of those teams that everyone's sitting there saying, hey, they're trending, they're doing really well online, didn't have a great time in their most recent LAN. So far, they've been dropping some deuces. I'm not talking like deuces. They're dropping the number 2 right now over these lobbies. They're not looking very good. Not looking very good.
Yeah, the team. One team that you actually thought was going to not be doing well, wasn't it, Raven? By the way, I can vouch for it. Before we even talk about that, I can vouch. That ball was flat as heck, brother.
Thank you.
That's why I gave it to you.
I appreciate that. That was a little self-sabotage on your part, but I'm here for it. No, those that saw me last year, I get on this desk and I make a hot take. So far, Ravens have made me look stupid. They're killing like no one else right now.
Oh, Ninja, I can't lie. They ruined it, bro. They ruined it, man.
The big question mark is going to be, can they get to those final circles and put themselves in a position to win? Yes, they did it in map number 1, but that was because the final circle was their opening circle. So that's going to be my big question mark for them. Right now, they're looking good for a top 5 in the group, though, at least.
Top 5 in the group is good enough. Great spot to be in. But you said early starts are really good, nice early kills, but it's the late game where we're seeing the top teams. They're the ones with positional advantage. Depends on where the circles are going. And so far, it feels like every circle's been a fun one. Again, I'm going off the excitement levels of the casters right now, and then every single time we see a pool, like, it's ball north, we're going south. I'm like, yeah, boys, hell yeah. Can't wait to see where this one goes next. But this is the thing, man. I mean, Warzone is one game, and that late game is a whole different beast. So excited to see what happens.
And I mean, who would have ever thought that Haven's Hollow second map is going to pull all the way out into the water?
Actually,
you're getting some good reads from the IGLs, though. I think that especially Rebirth Island map 1 for Twisted Minds to read the pull towards the top of the hill. You take out Novo, you kind of uproot them from that power position. It's an easy win from a lot of these teams who are veterans, champions. They're going to know exactly how to read these circles. And when you have day 1 teams already playing on point like that, like this is what you expect from Twisted Minds. It's what I want to see from teams like Eclectic or teams like Novo as well.
And what's one team, like we're expecting this out of Twisted Minds. What's one team that has maybe surprised you? I know you mentioned one already, but what's
Oh, bro, can't lie, Ninja. That would have been sick, gang. I usually sign up to it as well, bro. That's the worst part. Pissed off.
That's a good call.
They need to kill better. That's just what it comes down to. They're placing well. They need to kill better, though, as we look at our standings here.
Raven Esports there at the top with those 62 points. T1, don't forget that top 5 at the end of tomorrow for the Group A and Group B that will be moving on to match point finals. The bottom 3 will end up getting eliminated and their keys crushed. But I mean, Twisted Minds, we got a chance to talk about it. GK Esports as well with 51 points.
I mean, my great surprise though, Team Heretics, the Thunder from down under. I don't know what the Spanish is for Vamos. I was what the Australian is for Vamos. But these boys have really impressed. Zeppa, true vet, man, a true vet of the scene, and finding success here early on.
GK, 35 of their kills came in the last 2 maps.
Nice.
That's just going to show that, and I know that the casters have been talking about it a lot. Placement doesn't matter as much anymore when you don't deal with multipliers of 1.6 for top 5 and 2 times for the first spot. It's all about putting yourself in a position to get kills early. Yes, of course, at the end of this whole thing, you need to win a lobby. But right now, it's all about kill participation. And GK and Ravens have shown that you put the good numbers up there, you're going to be on top of the standings.
I think you're looking at an average of about 11 to 14 kills in a game, depending on your placement style. So it's to see a team get to the final circle, it's definitely not going to be enough. And you kind of see it with like VP, Vitality, they're towards the bottom. I think those are 2 teams. Gen G as well, you can say in 9th place. You expect them to be at the top of these standings, and that just hasn't been what their year has looked like. They've had some poor land placements. They've had some performances that are questionable. So to see them turn up to EWC again, it's just raising those red flags for these squads where they got to turn up in the back half.
Are you raising, or are you like waving it really hard though?
That's a very personal question. It's a very personal question. What are we talking about?
Bit of a surprise in the bottom 3 there, Eclectic. There's talk backstage. The cast is saying that these guys should be way up there based on recent performance. Crimson very, very good. So a little bit of time still to turn that around, but you're getting into the danger zone. You know, we're coming up on game 4. This is only going to get harder, and that is not what she said here.
Okay, well, we're looking at the today's schedule right now. Rebirth Island's going to be coming out. Fortune's Keep there for game 5 and game 6. But with Twisted Minds, I mean, I'm hoping that this kind of form is going to continue with this squad. And if I'm not mistaken, game 1, I think it might be incorrect. It might have been Raven Esports that actually ended up getting the win on that first game. Twisted Minds did end up getting 2nd place, but I do want to hear what Twisted Minds got to say in this interview.
All right, this is Goj. I've got Blast. They just came off of game 3 win, Rebirth Island. Blast, that's got to feel insane, right?
Always winning on LAN and a BR is, always nice because, it's like pretty much I would convert to search and destroy. You have to value your life, and then when you come out on top, it's always a good feeling.
In general, there's been a lot of chatter around Twisted Minds. You're representing an org that is trying to back-to-back win right now, but it's a different team, almost entirely, right? And you're joining Almond. This has been a really big switch for the people at home that maybe haven't been paying attention to all the drama. In a couple words, why did you want to join Twisted Minds?
I would say more of just pacing factors. Like, I came from multiplayer, so I would say multiplayer fundamentals apply to Warzone, especially for fighting. And Shifty has the same ideology of how to take fights, play a certain way.
Hey, nothing but love, Ninja, my broski, man.
Towards pretty much everything.
Big slime.
It was like a no-brainer, and Shifty, the Warzone Go, and then Ben,
If I have to kill
Phase in the
myself
bottom
in your
half of them is
facility to
crazy,
make a point, I
Ninja.
will.
They're lacking, gang. They're lacking.
He's one of the most winningest players of all time. So many of these players are, but big congratulations to you guys. First 3 games, quick final hit. Things are going well. How does that feel amidst all the chaos of the last couple scrims and leading up to today?
Yeah, we had a little bad, stints and scrims, I would say, leading up to EWC, but there was a lot of factors. I mean, people that don't know, I scrimmed for probably about almost 2 weeks and 95 degrees in my room because my AC went out in southern Texas. So, I was going clinically insane, but we're also, I would say, a better LAN team than online team. So, I mean, at the end of the day, scrims are you're not supposed to win every scrim. You play scrims to get better, so you want to find your flaws and correct them.
Cool. That's Blast. Twisted Minds just won game 3, quarter of the way done through group stages, half of the way done today, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Cheers.
halfway through our first day here for Group A. 3 maps done and dusted, 3 more to go. Great words from Blast there after coming off that win. Yep. And obviously Twisted Minds currently sitting in 3rd overall in the lobby here after these first 3 games. Would love to be able to continue that trend and possibly end day number 1 top of the board.
No, yeah, most certainly. It's been impressive from them. Obviously, they get a relatively mixed bag on Haven's Hollow, but honestly, their average placing is fantastic right now. You're talking just over 3rd, and that is tying up with lobby leaders T1 in placing. So, yeah, great stuff out of them in terms of getting to those late circles. Continue that trend, and you'll be seeing yourselves through to Sunday with very little issue. Another team in the top 5 that are quite stunning in terms of the metrics side of the game. They are sitting in 5th. It is your team Heretics. Thunder from Down Under says Miles. Currently rocking 44 kills. Their average placing is 10th. I don't think I've ever seen a team with an average placing of 10th in the top 5 of anything. So ridiculous for these guys. If they can figure out a rotation or 2, they're a real dark horse in this one.
Oh, well, Team Heretics, they're going to be the cutoff right now for that top 5, just being 0.4 points of the Italians in Team Novo. Bottom of the leaderboard, we saw it there in the break there. Eclectic, FaZe Clan, and First Squad. They need to do better if they want to try and get out of that bottom trenches and at least into that middle pack to make it to the survival stage. We still have 3 more games to play, a second map of Rebirth Island before we get ready to head on to the newest addition to Call of Duty Warzone eSports, Fortune's Keep. So let's get ready. Let's hop on into it. It was battles at Control. It was battles at Chem. Let's see what map number 2 here on Rebirth Island, map number 4 overall, will deliver us here today.
I think an overlooked story potentially as well about that last map. Top scorer across the entire map, Novo. We saw them win that Control fight very early. 3-team contest in that direction. But if you do get the Control Center building, you hold the more important buy station and cut off so many rotations for teams around you. So if they can repeat that, that will jettison right up the board. But all the teams now saying their hopes, their prayers, and flying into the skies of the island.
All right, let's get ready. You can see.
Yeah, the multiplayer team's way better, Ninja. That's one thing I noticed still.
Nice little bit of a break here.
The multiplayer FaZe team, they're beasts. You see man beating fucking Optic and
after that win down here at Factory, they're actually getting this for free, Enigma. No contests here today. Kind of why we saw them make some of those early rotations, early movement in that last map. Started kind of flirting on up here a little bit with the Ravens, but it's actually going to be maybe a float on over towards Living where they think they can get a little bit active against Vitality.
Novo at the control center, of course Novo are back. FaZe instantly applying pressure. We thought Novo might decide to contest the boat against Virtus Pro. Instead they fancy the FaZe fight more, and you can see why. FaZe towards the bottom of our board. This control fight for them, crucial to really get their afternoon going. Entire tournament here at the Esports World Cup. Dizzy does well to stay alive. Might actually get some blessed timing. Well, while he does get dropped, we've actually got Clamp in for the trade as well. So it does great work considering the circumstances that he was in. And now that gives you the parity in the fight, but look at VP. They're sending the boys over. They're sniffing the opportunity to third party this.
Love this. This is exactly out of the VP playbook. You got Destroy and Grimy working together.
yeah, Shotsy on MP. Yeah, he's the GOAT still. I'll be honest, gang.
Some of these teams around the map. DK, they're going to leave one player up on top of the water power, and Eclectic down below in the showers. Going to maybe go ahead, turn it on, scrub the soap out of their eyes because they need to clean up their act if they want to try and jump up the leaderboard. Stukex, MK in hand off the deck. Just trying to see if anybody's going to make a play towards this buy station. And, yep, patience is a virtue. We'll be able to catch Zanks.
Incredibly important for the Eclectic boys to get going. This is by far their best map. They've been really solid in recent scrims, but this is the one that they have been a real force on. And it's because they hold this water tower side. The fact that Geeky are ripping it away is just causing them so many issues. So great stuff out of the German-Austrian lineup. Stallions. Yes, we're seeing them in the late circles. Yes, they could definitely do with more kills. PBJ won't be an easy side to take down. They're more than happy to play deathball, to rotate only after the fights are finished. And Praise right now just trying to squeeze forward and set up some more engagements, and there comes the first trade, though is in, kind of, comes from elsewhere in the end, but that won't matter, won't care at all. You get the kill.
Ooh, and look at that. You see the tap almost come on through, but you see Jawad on the other side, and well, you actually don't even need to go for it. So a little bit of line here, but look who's kind of starting to maybe flirt with some of this action. It's one of these members of Vitality, who's looking to make their way on through. Down here at the turbine, the water battles continue to rage. Teeny into the water, will continue firing, and almost gets the kill, but Reaper, he's gonna turn around, bring the damage right back onto him. This is something that we see time and time again, right? You get thrown into a blender early, you splash on into this outside area, and you maybe just go hunting like a shark to find those kills. A couple different areas, though, continuing to kick up the action as Ravens have made their way into prison.
Yeah, Nearson will have Geeky and Eclectic for company. Zank's down low, that's the anchor. Nearson's trying to sniff him out. You find that kill, and often the card tower shall fall, but right now, not really actually finding the engagements that you wish if you are this French lineup. Might get awful timing on Geeky, who are just dropping into the lower side of prison, and Nearson will hear a stim pop off nearby. Where is that? How's it located? Either way, the jostle, the back and the forth, the shifting through the layers of prison. Gunfights will start to ensue, and well, they're already underway here at Camp.
Aiden, nice little shimmy in the window, drops the smokes, think that he can maybe reposition, just not going to be enough. This is against the H1 squad, as Ivy Fire is going to be the one to bring down Aiden and get the full. That's going to leave just 2 members from Gen G having to scurry their way to other parts of Chem. You can see Gabe towards the top. He gets a little bit of a sense that one of these H1 players is going to be checking that outside plat area. Go ahead and drop on down, but H1, they know that they've been able to split up Gen G here. You get one dropped, but oh my God! Gabe Kuhn! We know him, we love him. We see this time and time again. It's a nice little 1v2. You stem the tides of the push from H1. You get a couple more kills on the board, but more importantly, you drop the timer on your teammates, get them back into the action.
You see moments like that and you understand why Gen G have actually shifted him to the back line. Gotta stay up in the fight. Need something to really cut you through and get that timer down. And Gabe Kuhn with the 2-piece just means the boys are back into the skies. And actually
bro, like, it's crazy how they play in LAN, bro.
Try and play clean up and let him get
They play so scared, some of them.
To get in behind Cordal, you will eventually push out so much space, and hopefully this is the foundation for a far better rebirth here for Gen G.
Yeah, it's like I think they see this most wanted on the top of Gabe Kuhn, and they think that maybe for some reason Gabe's alone. Nope, not going to be the case. Lennon from down below. It's Kudley. He's the only one up here, but Shifty's kind of lurking around here as well. You have to be careful. He pops on up. He cuts down Aiden, and he's continuing to rip, getting in this damage. Lennon's got to back on up, get the plates back on through. Can he manage to stay alive? Decky has come to try and play spoiler on this outside, but you just fed an extra point to Shifty himself. Shifty basically said, I'm bored. Let me go ahead. Let me get active. Let me get this kill in the hot because we need to be top of that leaderboard.
Yeah, he's pushed out far here. Again, a free life essentially. The whole game
Shifty's side now. Him and Gabe look like twins.
Controlled by your anchor. That will allow your loadout to be protected and you'll land back in.
Is that Gabe's missus?
Gabe Kuhn and the Gen G fellas will rotate back towards Chem, figure a different path through towards the circle. Second Living, Stallions, PBJ, and FaZe are all here. FaZe in trouble. This has been a torrid time for them so far in this tournament. Must come alive, but it's not likely that the Stallions will give them any room to breathe in here. And PBJ, you can see they're on the hunt as well here in green.
Vitality's also looking to maybe get a little bit part of this action as the battle at green will continue to rage on. J-Vela down below, you kept one running, and there you go. Stallions taken out of this lobby. But that doesn't mean that you have time to breathe if you are PBJ. You still have a couple other squads around you like FaZe and Vitality who might look to get active. Gen G making their way out of Chem. They find themselves here at the bottom of prison just on the outside. A couple of shots will back down the players from above, buy you the space that you need. Geeky will be on that outside. Aiden gets eyes onto Decky. This could be a huge kill to ensure that you cut down the forces of Geeky.
Gabe trapped between a rock and a hard place, very much so. He will get the initial fight with Decky, but it's just a bait and a switch, but Lace doesn't do enough. Gabe, what are you doing? Another 2-piece. 6 kills now for the man. And we talked about why he is seen as one of the best frags in the game, but another example of why when you step him into the back line and Gen G need him the most, he stands tall and keeps you going.
If I had $1 for every double kill we've seen out of Gabe Kuhn, well, I'd have $2. And that's not a lot. But it's weird that it's happened twice.
In quick succession, too. First example of how Gen G have built themselves into actually being a threat here at LAN. For all the turmoil that they've gone through this year, all the trials and tribulations, they'll now hold out in the prison courtyard. Eclectic aren't gone just yet, though. Keybase, he plays forward, tries to catch the timing on Gabe Kuhn. Aiden was there to swat him away. Gabe Kuhn felt like he left a little bit of something at the buy station. UAV's going to go up. Keybase finished anyway. The rotation isn't clean. Likely a dive into prison here to shout yourself from the players above.
Yeah, this is a huge moment for this advanced UAV for Gen G. This is going to give them all the information they need of how they can push their way forward. How can you carve a path? Because you can see, that with that information, they take down Mati. That's going to be FaZe Clan. And now, they know that these members of EK...
It's got to be a bit of pressure, though, isn't it, Ninja, playing in these?
Aiden, he's going to lead the line.
That pressure that makes you, like, not play yourself.
That's athletic. Take it out of the lobby.
The sync is just gorgeous from them right now. Leonard and Aiden are just chopping players down in mass. Aiden gets the coverage, flies on forward, picks up Stungex. It's about 8 bodies in a row for the duo. We talk about Gabe Kuhn as the fragger, but as a two-headed dragon, these boys are kind of apart. All of their off position, and the aim's done. Leonard pops the hip fire, drops Keybase.
Wow.
Holding so much of this
New SMG is beaming.
Shifty and Z Smith, you know, as obviously as champions, but guess what? We got to talk about Aiden. You can't ever forget how important he was to that Twisted Minds roster, and you're starting to see why a lot of the community has faith into Gen G into getting it done. Let's take a breather. Let's take a look at where that zone is pulling. It's going to sit around this headquarters living kind of side, and we get a nice little look, lay of the land of where these teams are, and they have to gain this positioning now because you can see Resurgence starting to end.
PBJ out, Athletic out.
It makes you lock in more. Nah, hear that still.
Here on Rebirth Island, it hands you a hell of a lot of gunfights early, but once it comes to rotation,
I do hear that, you know. But that's like me when I'm streaming.
All spells, death sentences for those who begin to move late.
I either fold or I'm super locked in, just kind of know people's watching.
ETA huge play. If he can control the prison rooftop, it allows his 2 boys down below to play clean up on anything that tries to move that will be lacking.
New AR slaps.
Everyone except for that Gen G side.
That's what we've seen time and time again, year over
What's
year.
that, the AN9 or the FG?
Is
the FG?
Can sometimes just be a real nuisance to everybody else on the map, right? You're gonna have no opportunity to just kind of play on this outside. And so for Ravens, this is a great positioning they love to be in. So you can see, this just needs.
Coolly got beamed.
Got a little bit nerfed in that Season 5 patch that we had last week. It still rips. It's still shooting. But as you can see, as they start moving a little bit forward, Gen G, they're starting to get active. We did a listen in with them, and it was a little bit calm. I have to imagine that it's not nearly as calm in this map. Let's go ahead. Let's see how the boys are feeling.
I'm going basement. There's one in Grandma's, in third story.
On the basement? Go base. I can burn more smokes too, okay?
Here's another muni too, another muni.
We have stims. We got loads of stims, butter.
Okay. We can buy another PA if we need.
No. I think we just get into fucking Grandpa's.
Now?
Yeah. I'm in bottom.
I'm here. Play. High low. Ready. High on me now.
Ready.
Just literally sit here and don't give nothing.
I'm low. Yeah.
I want to grab a DC.
We're gonna have to go low left.
Do you want to go like...
They got here in wall now.
Gen G, the FG, and the Pentagon. Yeah, I hear you, Ninja, still. Yeah, not fully, I hear you.
One shot. TSG.
Oh my God, Gen G, they are looking good, but it's the Ravens spoiling such a good map out of them.
Honestly, there's so much
wow, they got wiped badly.
But Nielsen pops a 3-piece, hits takeover, and gets so many points on the board. Now going to use the stims, just try and keep himself up as much as possible, avoid any attention, let the circle squeeze, and hope to get top 5, and to get there. The Frenchmen are on.
We say they hate Lennon, yeah.
Obviously, Nielsen's making that happen up towards the top. We got to take a look at green and a couple of these teams that are still alive. Twisted Minds, Virtus Pro, battling for cover.
Cut the Virtus Pro kills is right on top of these lots. Crazy.
Take down Nielsen, and that will put you into the top 4 here. But this is going to be a battle as the zone will continue to pull away and force some movement through this 10 side. Decky from Geeke. He's going to be able to find Destroy. This is going to cause VP. They got to pause for a moment here, but they're getting cut down. They're getting shot from too many areas.
Decky's just going to try and wall bang. Nade's going up over the top. Stukex is repositioned on the outside. So often the anchor that has to sit in the spot coverage. Boys, and will get there. Oh, man. He will not win that gunfight initially. Vortex on the drop. Black's Diddley's clean that one. The Noble lay claim to the souls of Twisted Minds. We will see a 3 V2v2 with Virtus Pro in commanding position.
It's the Italian veteran Vortex. He's coming alive in
Oh,
Blade.
shit.
He's going to go huge for the team. The two Italians, they're still here as they're going to battle Virtus Pro. Slides on out. Destroy is dead. You just need one more. Grimy. He's able to
Oh, shit.
Virtus Pro.
The VPs.
Another map win.
Incredible stuff there towards the end. It felt like Novo had turned the tide, flipped the screw just in the right moment.
No way, Ninja. We're saying wise dodge, yeah? Wise dodge from Lennon.
It will be Virtus Pro and Grimy yet again going big and ensuring that this team march ever closer to those Sunday finals. So many teams have talked about it. Yes, they have an insane ceiling. Sometimes their floor can undo them. We're not seeing any evidence of it still remaining here at the Esports World Cup.
4 games played. Virtus Pro have taken 2 of them. You want a way to ensure that you're in that top 5. Winning 2 games with 1.6, and we know they always have a solid amount of kills. It's a hell of a way to make sure that you're going to be in that conversation. They do not want to have to play that survival stage. But let's take a look at just some of these ending moments there, Enigma, because I honestly thought Novo had it wrapped. They're in such a good positioning. They're finding the right kills, but it's right here. Dude, it's Grimy. It's that little bit of a shake. It's a 2-piece. I mean, that's just what we kind of come to expect from that young man.
Is the reposition off the top into the G slide. The initial player who gets dropped makes the commies up high. By the time the aim's adjusted, Grimy's already going one way down low, and then he checks back onto his right leg, just shifts the balance in the gunfight, and it just doesn't give the Novo players enough time to react. And all 3 of those boys are shooters, by the way, just to show the ceiling why everybody keeps bringing Grimy's name up through this year and where his career could take him.
How many 2-pieces did we see in that map, dog? There was a lot. There was a lot of 2-pieces from everybody in that map. This is crazy, but we got to go ahead and take a little breather here as we get ready to head on into Fortune's Keep. So stay locked in, ladies and gentlemen, because we got 2 more maps here to round out Group A.
Everyone is playing, you're not yet. EWC Play is your all-in-one platform to compete in fantasy.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I know that Prodigy, guys. I can't believe what Wars looks like, bro, in real life.
Build your dream fantasy team in 5 different games and track your score with live results tables. Predict the winner of every game, every group stage, and every tournament. Complete daily and weekly challenges to earn boosters that help you climb the global leaderboard. Got what it takes? Join EWC Play now.
How you feeling kicking this tournament off so far?
Oh man, listen, I am loving it right now. I'm loving the drama, right? We've seen
well, like repost
kind of putting BTA to Twisted Minds, and you know, a little side scoop here. Okay. Twisted Minds said that Ravens Esports has never killed them on land. I don't think they might have been lying. They said that, and they're like, oh, we're gonna go out and we're gonna destroy them. And it's not looking like it. Ravens is looking dominant right now, I can't lie.
I mean, they looking really dominant, picking off where they left off, okay, from the last LAN tournament that we had. Now, so far, and especially going into these next few maps, who needs to step it up, all right? Because we also got our 3 defending world champions in Group A. Who are you expecting to turn up in the second half?
Yeah, for me, I think I want to see a little bit more out of Vitality. They have an ex-champion, right, from last year. They normally struggle to get kills, but the thing is, those guys are so good. I don't know if it's a pacing issue. I need to see them step up. I don't know exactly where they're at, but I know they're on the right side, I believe, of the leaderboard, so bottom 8. They are not in the top 5 right now, so I want to see them go a little bit crazier.
Yeah, they definitely do got to go a little bit crazy. They start to pick it up towards the back end, but they need more than that. It's all about getting into that top 5, getting qualified for Sunday. You don't want to go through that survival stage. And as a former player, you know about the pressures that is on the stage to be at the bottom, to be on the come up. So for the Warzone players out there who want to make it to the stage, who want to make it to EWC, what tips can you get it on to be on top of that game?
Hey, man, listen, if you got it, you got it. I'm a firm believer that if you are good at the game, you will make it to the top. There's the only advice I would say is get into as many tournaments as possible and play as many as you can. I mean, right next to me we have a 15-year-old Ketchup. He's quite literally the best player in the world. I'm not gonna lie, better than all these guys. And he got known by just playing in tournaments and going crazy. So I've got Sadiel. He came in, qualified for both Atlanta and Birmingham through console. And people say, oh, you can't do the console. That man did it. So my advice, man, is don't make excuse for yourself. Grind as much as you can. Even if you're on console, you can do it too. And if you got it, you got it.
If you got it, you got it. I don't know, guys. I got a little bit of chills after that one. Make sure you guys check out Repose's watch party. Go talk to Ketchup. Go talk to Biffle and hang out with the boys. We'll see you guys in a bit.
If you got it, you got it. Damn right. And right now, VP definitely got it. They have won twice out of 4 matches. This squad is just looking unstoppable right now.
And they're winning their ones at the end. That's the biggest thing in COD. You got to win your one. So seeing them find not just the finesse to get to the top, but dominate in the kill tally, really strong rise to the top here for VP.
Yeah, that's what you love to see, especially day one. You don't want to have any jitters. Let's talk about some players, though, because I saw JNG. Remember, before this match, they were on that second page of the leaderboard. This time around, Gabe Kuhn, come on, stepping it up. Then the whole squad, to be fair, the whole squad was putting up a bunch of eliminations, and it's good to see them starting to put up this kind of numbers.
Yeah, 20 kills, I think, in that last probably the most recent one, which tied Novo, I think, actually, for the overall drop, which is big. But anytime you start to get to that 20 number, yeah, people are going to feel your presence on the map. Biggest thing about it is now we got to start getting those multipliers into play for Gen G. They're finding great success with the kill feed, but it's all about finding ways to get their placement to help them boost those multipliers.
Baby steps, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
You gotta start somewhere there if you are currently JNG.
They got wiped badly, boy.
Skills, making sure they start moving up on that leaderboard, making sure that they stay within striking range for the top 5. We're heading now into the final 2 matches here of Group A. Where is somewhere that you personally...
No way, Ninja.
Yeah, it's tough to say because right
Man,
now
like G, man, that's my goat, man.
Getting contested off their drop spots, and that's, I think, just a big advocate for not only them staying alive and finding good kills, but trying to stay survivable as the game gets a little bit deeper is where they're struggling.
9 and 9
So
to me. Oh shit, that would be nuts.
Condition is going to be the biggest key to success as they want to try to get to that top 5 spot. You got to be able to put yourself in fighting condition in the final circle.
Let's see if they're gonna have what it takes to get to that top 5 in this next 2 matches. Don't worry though, they still have a whole day tomorrow as well. But I mean, we would love to see them in the top 5. Let's see what's gonna be happening in this final 2 matches.
Whew, great breakdown there from 7 and Shift. Speaking of Gen G, hot
Look at that
topic right now
trophy,
as we get
man.
ready to move on to Fortune's Keep, my man, because they have now snuck in to our top 5 to potentially be a team that will qualify to our match point Sunday, not have to play through that survival stage. So as we get ready to head on in, talk to me a little bit about how does Gen G look on this Fortune's Keep map, because this is a new addition that we've had to our space.
I think what I've got to do is tip my hat to the changes recently that they made.
Yes.
We talked a lot about the ceiling that they potentially had and how Gabe is one of the straightest shooters that we have in the scene, but they're so often the floor. When they would collapse, when they would have these patches of, okay, we've dropped out because we've lost a contest or because we've lost an early rotation, you're seeing how moving Gabe into the back line to keep them alive in those important moments is allowing them not only great placing consistently here, they're averaging 6.8, but it's then also the amount of kills that they're mopping up once Aiden and Lennon feel comfortable and you have the pocket of space and they get moving. So, you know, they've been through,
I think it's the same skin, you know, bro.
30 different drop spots through the year, 5 different
That
role
trophy
changes.
is nuts,
It's
gang.
been a battle, but you get to land and you look at this and all of a sudden it feels like it's starting to pay off. We've got a ways to go, but this is increasing signs of a side that is all coming together.
Yeah, I think it's the same
More
skin
games
still.
needed. You would love to be able to sit comfortably in that top 5, but for Gen G, you still have teams like T1, Vitality, Heretics, and Geekay hot on your heels. So as you get ready to drop on in, it's going to be about who can execute the most here on these last final 2 maps for Group A here on the day before we get ready to shift gears and bring in Group B. But here we go, back on the Keep, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to drop on in. Fortune's Keep, primarily a more defensive side in map that we have seen. Usually actually less kills overall, so you have to super take advantage of the kills that you can get and really marry them up with that placement multiplier.
Yeah, a lot of sides are going to change things up depending on the zone. However, we get a relatively neutral one here. Sensors you like slightly falls off towards the west, but not enough for anyone to make emergency changes. So it's the battle at the Keep versus Pro. Often a graveyard team, actually. Decided they want this, and so I guess the Ravens, King Chalk just...
Yeah, fuck that for the same skin, man.
Doesn't happen often. We'll get that one for now, young man. Destroy, backs off. Doesn't get very far before King Chalk.
We're saying regional qual.
So great work.
Regional qual vibes, yeah?
This year, this man grown in levels beyond belief.
It's only right, man. It's therefore possible, gang. Locked in.
Sometimes subbed in on Twisted Minds on some of those online events, some scrims, and still continued to look unreal. You've said it time and time again, potentially maybe, potentially a little bit of an audition this year for a certain French team next year, but we'll wait. We'll talk about that one later in the week. For Gen G, though, it's a fantastic map to jettison them up at the leaderboard. But now here at Winery, you can see already they've had to maybe stem the tides as they're trying to go against Vitality, a team that's kind of been known to run Winery lately.
Yeah, it's interesting as well, because usually this is a 3-team contest with Novo being amongst the mix. They've actually decided to go and play Lighthouse instead. Almost kind of third party this, the same way with the control ball with control. So, interesting strat. We'll see if it pays out for them. Either way, Skullfist going to be on the initial with Smith. You isolate Gabe Kuhn, obviously the anchor, so now the Gen G players having to scramble. One down in the tunnels. And they should now hand all this space to Vitality, but they're not done yet. They're on the hunt.
I like the patience from Skull. The nade has actually come on through, and he's going to find a good timing. On out. Unfortunately, we'll get traded on out. Thankfully, you got Smitty there.
Need that bread, Ninja. Need that bread, gang. Serious.
Rez will come through, so nice little bit of a time in there from Vitality to make sure that that fight goes nice and clean.
I need to prestige that new SMG for that barrel, man.
That mix and all of a sudden take a timer hit just for no reason.
That shit is looking like meta.
H1, of course, on our screens. You also have GK, CT Gaming, as well as the recovering PBJ and First Squad. So all about those battles. GK, this is an area where they have improved massively recently, putting themselves in drop spots where it's just about players like Lays getting active. He never looks better than when it essentially feels like multiplayer, when he's in and out engagements.
Yeah, 100k each, man.
Lift them from a team that no one considered coming into this tournament to a real dark horse, but you do have CT above you and all three.
That's insane.
Ooh, and CT, I gotta give them some credit. They have looked really good from
the only downside is
side of the map.
It's in dollars, isn't it? So, you know, like if you're EU and you win, yeah, that's the only downside, man. You gotta change that shit to pounds. You'd be stuck with like what?
From Geeke.
What we talking? 100k dollars in pounds. What we talking? 70, 80?
King Chalk's on 3.
Or am I
Does have the
bugging?
cluster available to him if he wants to take any space. Doesn't know necessarily that Destroy's off to his left, so Destroy could catch a timing here, set up a pitch potentially with Grimy, aim to play trades, who lays in wait.
Oh, Grimy thinks he has the first shot, and it was looking good, but King Chalk has the shots just a little bit too straight. They'll put number 4 on the board for him, and he's on the hunt right now. Destroy is going to use that underneath. Oh, just go ahead. Back on up here. Still in zone. Neason will get found out from Adrian from above here. So you have a number of these squads that, as long as the keep is going to be in zone, it's enough space that they can keep just flying back on in and just get a little bit lost, get your guns, continue to be guns up and find these kills.
A lot of teams will just do this. Mop up as many points as they can, and at some point, call it a draw, disappear off into their own rotations. Set themselves up for later circles. Cheers for points, fellas. I'll go and get my multiplier out of it. Phaser here.
Still like 80. Yeah, still like 80, bro. We'll take that for a video game, gang. Give me that now.
Back felt like a gimme. We'll get one of the VP players just slipping out the window. He's trying to find a pocket, a bit of space here that will make Neason feel more comfortable about getting aggressive, but he's one of the best in the world at this. Tuck himself off into a corner, spring into a life.
At the end of the day,
turn the tide.
the CV you will have, your CV after winning something like this is worth more than money, man. You're set up for a nice streaming career, all that shit.
Is finding some kills on the other side of the map. A lot of action happening elsewhere. You can see also just on the outside of this mini-map as they start to spin around, a couple members of Vitality are starting to flex on up and maybe take a fight against Dizzy from FaZe there. Looks like they will be able to make that trade, so Vitality pushing forward to gain some space, and I like this play a lot. This rotation on Winery is tough. So they're just trying to find any amount of space that they can just take for free, and it looks like both members have been able to do that. But we got to focus on this fight still here in the Keep, because Ravens still finding themselves on the edge of the gun. FaZe Clan, you might have lost one, but you're still going to match up together try and push back this Ravens esports team.
King Chong does so well there. Should have been dropped in 2 different moments. The pre-fire initially to buy him space to retreat, and then the stim timing. It's preemptive. It's early. He knows he's going to take damage, so he gets it in as those first bullets hit, and that gives him the escape position. Woo! Oh, Shifty rounds a corner, just about gets helped out enough. There's out Jay Vela. A little bit of extra love there. Set yourselves up now inside the bell tower. Plasty sticks his head out just a little too long. Shifty's there for the trade, so back to your feet. And Shifty might do better than that just yet. And Spawn protects. I tell you what, PBJ be counting their lucky stars, but either way, Twisted have control over the entire northwest of this current circle from here through to Graveyard and the Spiral. They have got a lot of land, which now will allow them to loot up, play their contracts, and set themselves up for the later stages.
Yeah, you see some smokes come in, a cluster strike as well, just to kind of provide a bit of cover for the time being. So Zone will continue to push. Now all these teams that we've been watching for so long play around the keep. They got to move. And T1, they kind of putting themselves in a great position here. I'm also looking over towards the Spiral, because they have their anchor sitting in that Spiral who can just kind of play their life, allow these 2 members from T1 to really get aggressive and try and farm as many of these kills as fast as possible, really.
The fire sale now being active means that all the teams want to play in for a buy station. With the situation here with Ravens, it's a case of, all right, well, not only do you have that actual pocket space, do you have the money? You're able to get an advance into the sky. If you can't do it in this moment, that'll allow you to just clear out this keep and get on the rotation south. You desperately need it. Desperation also the case for Eclectic. They need points. Seems like they're in a recovery situation over towards Cove. Zanx finds a little bit of foliage, lies down, says, boys, we gotta get ourselves going. It won't happen just yet. The Twisted Minds, they're on that rotation. Again, so much space right now. Omen's trying to time his PA, just drop it on top of that wall, get his boys covered over and moving forward.
So much action happening on the northern side and the southern side. But from east and west, there's almost nothing. It's like there's a giant band in the middle of the map that is just desolate. Nobody wants to play from there. Everybody getting pushed into these extra areas. We're coming to the end of zone number 3, and we're still only missing 2 teams.
We are indeed. This war's just going to keep going on here for the Ravens. As they charge down now, almost left of FaZe Clan. Marty, desperate to stay up. He will take damage. Clamp and Dizzy are alive, though I don't think he's going to get the support in from them. They're elsewhere on the map.
10k PC, better than come on, gang. What, your PC right now is 4 racks, broski? Fucking hell. How much frames you get on there? All 300, 400.
Just a thorn in the side if you are Marty. Ecuadorian refusing to give this up.
Yeah, and Ravens, they have to clear this out in their back because they want to make sure that they can just be forward, guns up. Looking at the kill feed, though, I'm seeing potentially a Vitality White. Yes, confirmed. Vitality is gone from this lobby here on Fortune's Keep. Not able to make use of that winery side. Twisted Minds, can you find the angle here? Shifty, he wants to get on top of this church side. Looking out across.
270. Fuck yeah, girl. Yeah, you got a beast of a PC in it, gang. I got a PC, but to be fair, I only got it for streaming, innit? So my joint is it's just like a, what's it called? Ryzen 5 with a 2060.
Stukek's gonna touch ground. Might wish just
but obviously that's just a stream one, innit? I play on PlayStation. But obviously in BO6 season 5 and season 6 in BO6, I was playing COD on this PC because my PlayStation broke the HDMI port in it. Came loose and fell out. And I was playing on the PC and I can't lie, I don't know what settings I put, but it was moving smooth, bro. Obviously I probably weren't getting consistently more frames than the PlayStation, but it was defo smooth and playable. Like I was hitting Eerie on it. But recently I tried to download COD in it again, broski. Yeah, the settings are all fucked. I can't get it to run smooth at all. And on top of that, I tried to play and it said all of this shit about, I can't remember what it said, but bro, my account, it put my account in some mad status where I could only play big map casuals, bro, because something ain't updated in the bios or something, and I don't know how to do that shit, bro. Keep it real. It's a joking.
That'll give you that kill. Shifty sets his blood in the water. It's a nice little slide out. You take them done, but FaZe Clan, they find
Shifty's
Spam
so
in
calm.
the back, and that is going to be Team 1 making an exit. Resurgence is disabled, so all of these fights matter so much more as the zone continues to close in into the top 10. We are here with a 1.2 multiplier.
When we got to look at the zone there, the team center match, that's Virtus Pro set up in what could be win condition once we get there. Stone's throw away is going to be Novo. Gen G likely going to face pressure from them shortly. Aiden tries to make the buy for the PlayStation, play even for the buy station. Doesn't have any money to spend just yet though.
Hey, Ninja's different. It's a whole different world on the PC shit. I had to say, you know what? Let me get back on my PlayStation. Let me stay humble, man.
Yeah, it's a really good job from Len to be able to stay alive. You slide out, you find one, you play your life.
You know what it is? I want that audio, Ninja, man. That audio, man. I want that sick audio. I can't lie. I want Agent. I want it all.
Still staying alive here. Twisted Minds, they have to be able to somehow make this.
If you got an Agent, you could get into any stack, bro.
You still have one player out in the gas. That's going to be Almond sitting,
especially for these nukes.
You have VP on one side, you have Gen G on the other. I don't know how you make your way through.
Shifty's just going to patrol the outer walls here. Use this wall as a heady. The shots initially are glorious. In the background, the Eclectic team is done. Goodley and Carl will make a mess of them. Shifty now just rotates and trying to use this wall to essentially shield his crossing, let him into a space that's going to allow Blasties to play on forward. And you're running up now against this Gen G side. And Almond's up above, and Almond's dealing out damage. Oh my God, he's still able to find one to Lennon. You were able to make it happen.
Run smooth on, yeah, man.
The third time, Almond will find
hey, and then the video graphics, bro. Fucking hell, they're the best.
Here. You got 2 members of Twisted, you got 2 members of Gen G, and on this other side, it's all 3 members of Virtus
They're
Pro
the best,
still
gang.
alive, looking to hold out some of the other members of this lobby.
Gen G are down beneath Almond still, so Shifty doesn't necessarily have protection here. It's going to be an awkward timing. He squeezes forward anyway, just gaining a little bit of space. Zone's actually going to drag over towards Novo. Virtus Pro currently split those 2 teams, so Shifty's hoping that those 2 engage each other. Then he can third party.
No way!
And Aiden down below that really could spoil the
no way, Nin.
Oh my God, Grimy finds Fede, but they trade.
You lose your streak. All contrast. Wow.
Zeppa's still alive? I have no idea what's happening there. But already, we are down to the final 3 teams. You can see already Shifty and Almond still alive. Adrian and Destroy, but they have the buy station, so you see it go back on in. They're going to get Grimy. Boots on the ground to work together.
Good shots.
The top, Almond lets it rip with the CBRS.
Gen G are coming though. They're starting to squeeze up through the backside. Almond kind of wants to deal with Grimy. Also wants to turn and look at the pressure in from behind. Gable drop Almond up on top. Shifty trying to rotate using the Jeep. Gonna pop himself into the passenger seat so he can shoot out in. Squeeze the other side.
He's gonna go ahead. He finds the timing. It's a double armor crack. Slides on out.
Hayden.
Huge two-piece. It's one member that's still here from Twisted Minds. It's just Shifty playing the car, but he's gonna be able to slide on out. He makes his way below. Is he about to try and force a heal off here? Stims have been nerfed. The members.
Bro, Gabe looks exactly like Shifty. What the fuck?
It's just a 2v1, and I wonder, does Shifty, does he have the money? He has 6,300. If he can maybe play this bottom, find one of those buy stations that's in the grotto area, could maybe string together something. But they have found the 3rd member of Gen G.
Yeah, Gen G here just
GG's.
They understand what Shifty's hoping to
Your
do.
ops about to win, Ninja, man. Your ops about to win, man.
Make a desperation play for a buy station. Shifty will continue to move with the gas, hoping that he can shift.
This is not an easy 1v3 though, I'll tell you that much. Shifty's a beast.
But with every second that passes,
they cannot underestimate him.
Becomes ever smaller.
I like this, Gabe. We've seen him do this time and time again. He's on the hunt. He drops down. You're just playing together. If you are Gen G, you find Shifty finally. You play together. You let the game slip away from you in that last map. Not the case here on Fortune's Keep. Gen G will secure a map.
All these youths wear glasses, innit, for the monitors.
Back to the plays they were making on
Their eyes must, the shifts they put in their eyes must be
those moments in them. A lot of the conversations, a lot of the plays that they were making were brilliant. We've seen them really step up through these last few maps. But here as well, on Fortune's Keep, it's important. They're actually a really
them ones ninja pissed off. I want Lennon to lose type shit.
Gen G super fans going crazy here in the building. Excited to see their team that they are here to cheer on. Grab a
I know what that LOL means. That LOL means, hey, nothing is funny.
Rip the armor, slides across Adrian and Destroy. I thought that VP was in a great position there.
Yeah, VP were in a wonderful position to get a little bit unlucky with the RNG of the zone pull. But I think we go back to a little bit before, as I want to take a listen in here with how they close this out. But yeah, lovely, nice and calm and collected from the fellas. I like that.
So we actually really needed that.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's exactly what they needed. I want to go back to before the end game and when Orban's shooting at them from above. Great decision making from Aiden and Gabe. They just slow things down. We'll let everybody else fight and we'll get active on the backside. And that puts them in the spot there to close that map out. So the maturity in those decisions.
Why has Gabe got his eyebrows pierced though?
That's 2 world champions on that team, and that is why they have the experience to overcome the odds.
Hey, you love seeing it out of Gen G. We only have one more game to play for Group A. And when we're coming and talking about Fortune's Keep, I think there's some teams that we think are heating up and a couple other teams that are maybe getting iced out a little bit on that map. But we got one more game to go, so let's go ahead, let's reset, let's get everybody in the lobby. We'll be right back here in a little bit.
Soca.
You know,
I got the bust down, yeah?
Falcons,
Okay.
I don't really know anything about orgs or esports or even EWC at all, but as the years gone on, they've been nothing but like a big brother, like true family, like a village. When I'm doing high and I'm winning, they show me so much love, but even when I'm down and out and it seems like I'm not gonna win the tournament, they still pick me up and treat me like one of their own.
At the end of the day, you know, I'm thinking about the team. I want to win for the team. I want to win for Vitality for the club championship. They've been getting us invested. We were out supporting the MLBB team and the PUBG team. It would definitely feel bittersweet to go back to back, and obviously that's the end goal.
Incredibly confident. I'll never play a tournament without the expectation to win. I'm here to defend the title and get that trophy again.
Someone who came off of the 3P, run that I was on, anything if it's not first, I'm upset about that. Yeah, I'm gonna win EWC 2026.
I wanted a whole new roster, something like a new life. Dongy and Eddie, I knew they were insane players, so I wanted to definitely team with them. And we're chasing for a 3P, man, so we are the best team, no doubt, out there. Everyone knows that, and we're going to show on finals that. I want to get these club points for the Falcons because they need it as well. So Falcons will 3P the club championships.
Welcome back, friends. Miles and Seymour here on stage. Mate, what a great final map that was.
That was fantastic. I mean, we heard it from the team as well. We heard it from the casters. It was 2 world champions versus 1 at the end there. You thought Shifty could get it done, maybe get a buyback and regain for the squad, but I think that's a big one for Gen G. You heard it from Aiden. They needed the win. They haven't been getting many kills. Their placement, not that great in the standings right now for Group A, but that should boost them.
Dubs to dubs certainly helps. 2 versus 1 world champion. Simple maths, right, friends? Simple maths. But mate, with that final circle as well, nice position to be in. I mean, Aiden's 2-piece was literally perfect.
I think that VP could have had the opportunity if the zone pull was a little bit better. Aiden puts himself in the best spots. It's why he's an EWC champion. It's why we saw him turn up last year and really switch the difference alongside, you know, Z-Spit, alongside Almond. And even with Gen G, you don't expect that to really change. You turn up, you got the crowd, you're in that environment, you expect him to bring that energy. And I liked that when we went back to the comms of Gen G after the game was done, you heard him injecting that energy towards the rest of the team. They got the fans behind them. We're here at backstage. Everybody's going crazy for Gen G, and you love it.
Yeah, we're going to go over and see those guys in a moment. But yeah, we're getting to the sort of dangerous part of the tournament now where we will be saying goodbye to some teams. Bottom 3 will be leaving us. We'll see who our top 5 are as our brackets are pretty much we're getting sort of set. I mean, it's a couple of them are a little too obvious. But let's go for a walk. Let's have a look at this stage. It's a wonderful time here if you are joining us here in Paris. If you are watching from home, it's also a lovely time. But yeah, it's been a great tournament so far. The Gen G fans, who I'm sure have had themselves a time so far. A big win. Well deserved.
I feel like we got to hear some Gen G chants.
Can they do it again? Back to the casters.
Woo! I love the energy. I love the hype that we have here in Paris. Group A, one last game to play, one last opportunity for Gen G to put on for their fans here in the audience. First game of Fortune's Keep was, I feel like, a little bit interesting, Enigma. It felt like everybody finally on land was maybe having a lot of respect for their opposition, because we get to the point where Resurgence is disabled and we still have 13 teams up.
No, yeah, all happening very late here on Fortune's Keep. And we knew it was going to be a slower map, right? The rotating is hard, so a lot of teams have adapted this play style of land relatively center circle and just set up for defensive positions. And you see that kind of operating even to the later stages of the map. Eventually, of course, what that means, circle pushes you all together and says, gentlemen, you're going to square down either way, get on with it. So lovely little end games come through, and I think that will be a familiar theme for Fortunes, unless we get those really hard zones off towards your east, west, etc. But it will be some great positioning in the end, and some great execution in the end from Gen G that sees them through on a map that they've struggled in as of recently. Again, that change that they've made to bring Gabe in as the IGL, paying out in spades. But one last drop for the day here. If you are in Group A, and then it's off to either celebrate in style or lick your wounds and prep in for tomorrow. Into the skies go all the players as we look towards the circle, and it is pulling northeast. You're likely talking somewhere around Winery, so that's why you're going to see not only 2 teams inside of there, but a lot of squads setting up keepside.
Yeah, I mean, all of these teams down here in town are going to have a hell of a rotation to get on out of there. So I'm not surprised to see that Gen G, they say, hey, let's go ahead and maybe make this easy on ourselves. Let's take this fight against Vitality. Good shots from Gabe. He gets one knock, and you're not even going to try and get the reach out. He's going to go ahead, throw a shimmy, shoulders come through, and he's going to be able to reset. And now you have Lennon on that backside to catch Skullface. Gen G clinical in this early fight.
Yeah, great stuff out of them. Vitality slow thus far through this afternoon, just not been at the levels we'd come to expect, but that has only favored this lineup on your screen right now as they set up to collapse, and that doesn't even need the support in the end. Beautiful work onto Sage, even going to get an extra half second, but it is then a lot of landmass gains. You still do have one Vitality body in amongst the mix, but if you get Winery at this point as Gen G, you have so much space in the map, especially control anything later circle.
All right. Well, one POI being Winery. We see the battles rage on, but we got to check in on this keep fight because it's Virtus Pro and Ravens continuing to battle. And for the time being, it looks like Virtus Pro will come out the victors. You sent the Ravens packing out of here. Unfortunately, you do not have the POI for free. You still have FaZe Clan lurking around here as well. As a number of other squads, you can see maybe some members of Twisted Minds starting to work their way over. So already, we're starting to see some early action here. Let's check in with Heretics. Great early start from them, but they've kind of slid down the leaderboard, currently sitting in 7th overall, so just halfway through. Need to continue having some of those world star performances like we saw earlier on in the day.
We talked about it. Their kills are fine. It's the placement. It's setting themselves up for rotations. Again, Fortune's such a difficult map to rotate through. You don't want to be forced to do one.
especially if Shadow doesn't typically lean on them. Teeny's about to run into Freddy. Is he trying to get blocked a little bit of timing? Here's him. He loses the gunfight regardless. Freddy has been a ridiculous shooter as of recently. Colletic desperately needing points, currently sit in 11th, but that drop off in the bottom 3 is only 4 points behind them, so they are doing the right things to get moving here on Fortunes.
Nielsen cuts down Adrian, but look who's kind of maybe entered the party here a little bit. You got some members of T1 who are looking to get into the mix. You only have one player over here, but that's all you need. You just, hey, find a kill, go ahead, back on up. But Twisted Minds, they have the exact same idea as well. They're looking to maybe get a little bit more aggro from that Terrace's side. You understand you have a lot going on, and, well, if you've played ranked at all, you understand what's going on here, but unfortunately this isn't ranked. This is the ESports World Cup where kills matter, but when your anchor is just up in the sky, not a bad way to stay alive.
It isn't until someone decides, why the hell are you up there? I'm going to burn through that and get you the hell out to keep. And a look at Twisted, as well as Virtus Pro, and of course the Ravens. Adrian already on 3, has the loadout in hand. Him and Grime are just going to oscillate around one another. The problem is that FaZe have actually isolated your anchor, so you got to slow things down, pause for a moment. If anything presses you, spring on it, but otherwise let Destroy back in, get him to safety, then you can get active.
And for Nielsen, you're just laying in wait. You're trying to maybe get some type of audio cue, maybe figure out some type of push.
As all these fights go on, by the way, just burn through time that you don't have. You desperately want your loadout, you want your money for your advance. That comes from contracts and moving around in space to then set you up for the rotation. While all these fights go on, the points are glorious, sure, but it sets you up for hell trying to get out of keep later on.
No, that's a really, really good point. We saw it there in game number 1. We hit Resurgence disabled, still 13 teams up. So your opportunity to find those kills early on is massive. Do it while you have the Resurgence. Do it while you have the respawn. Don't wait until, obviously, the respawns get disabled. You can see for a couple of these teams that it's kind of working out well for them. I'm looking in the kill feed. You're seeing Gen G starting to still get active against Vitality. You have Ravens and FaZe still battling it out. For Twisted Minds, it's, well, been a little bit slow, I think, already. You saw them trying to maybe get into that keep fight. Doesn't really find any success, and I think for the right reason, right? They're worried about some of these teams pushing from that graveyard side, sneaking up behind them. So I think they really want to clear out their back before they maybe get too aggressive on the front.
Yeah, this is a mature decision to make. Showing your back is well protected. Reaper did have to come out the chopper eventually. He's on the boat, gets the initial knock. However, Skullface is also at the backside of the boat. Stukex now, he actually gets saved by Reaper that allows him to then shoot at Skullface, who basically saved him. Chopper's gonna go up. Stukex does well to avoid the explosion. Reaper's still making moves on the lower side. VST's gonna help him drop Decky in the water. But 3 different teams here, make it a 4th as another lands in the water nearby, and everyone's just trying to play him for this bolt because it can do a lot of work for you in terms of rotating. It could be a real sleepaway back into this matchup.
And I like Skull is just saying, I'll hang out in the water. You guys can all have fun up there. He's just picking up all the scraps of these fights that are happening. He says, yeah, sure, whatever. And he still even has a teammate over at Bay that can look over him as well. So if he's just going to be able to maybe bring some of these players out into that line of sight, teammate from range can just try and get any amount of damage in, this could be huge. Looks like EK have a similar idea. But back on land, get our feet underneath us. T1 looking to control this spiral area that they've come to know and love. It's been a great day for them so far. And I know that they would love to finish this first day within that top 5.
Certainly would. Really strong Havens, solid rebirth, good stuff from there. Fortunes has been the weaker of their 3 maps, but they're by no means awful on it. So an opportunity to close that gap to the top 5 at the end of day 1. Virtus Pro still alive in keep. Destroy begging anyone to chase him through the doorways. It's going to be Blast in position on the very top of the tower here. He's just going to control all of this, make sure his boys can move down beneath him. Almond and Shifty, while Almond is often the anchor, he and Shifty have worked so much together in the moments where Twisted want to get active. And Shifty himself, he's been active. 6 kills already. Now the information will go up into the skies, and they can press on forward against these teams that will be outmaneuvered.
It's a really good timing there. You see, they just invest all of the smokes so they can just sit on that buy station, get their UAVs, and pop them. Sometimes you think it's just easy. Let me run to the buy station, let me buy my 4 UAVs and get out. They know that people are going to be looking at these buy stations. So with all that information, what do? They move into the keep. They find the players of Ravens, and they go ahead and they wipe them from the lobby.
That's the first checkbox. The second will be Virtus Pro. A third arrives relatively quickly in FaZe Clan, who are trying to get themselves their loadouts in. So your timing is running out if you are Twisted to set up this noose and draw it close before they can get out. Clampico have escaped off into the caves. I think Twisted are going to afford them that space for now because they're more preoccupied with Virtus Pro, and they do find Grimy.
I mean, FaZe may have an opportunity to pop up here, but they're going to do it. They have to do it quick because already Almond down below. You catch Destroy running. You go guns up against another one, and just like that, you isolate one by one, and you take down Virtus Pro cleanly.
Counter UAV up there, by the way. Because of the shades of orange, I couldn't tell if that was Virtus Pros or Phases, but if that is Phases, we're a little bit worried right now because you are trapped in these caves beneath, trying desperately not to attract attention. You may have it regardless. Shifty's just going to peer on over, spots one, and if the others move out in front and he has the trigger discipline and the timing, could be a set of kills. Winery, though, we talked about it, was going to be very active. Novo tucked inside the chapel here as 4 other teams battle over the remaining buildings. They'll be happy with their pocket of space. The next zone will shift them out. It's actually going to be CT Gaming in the preferred position, and Tequila, he's trying to hold that Twisted Minds roster out.
Yeah, I think this is, you called it out beautifully. I want to know where this zone is going to pull because it really depends on where all of these winery teams have to go. And wow, I'm going to call you a prophet, my friend, because as it pulls just a little bit more north, CT Gaming, they're going to hold some of these L buildings, and they're going to do exactly that. They're just going to look at this chapel side, look across, and just try and maybe take down anybody that dares peek their head.
The problem is that Tequila oversteps his marker, pokes his head out a little bit too long, Blasties cuts him down. You should have a buy station available to you if you're CT Gaming to get that back in, but just in that moment, Heretics are done. They're dealt with. We're down to our top 10.
Top 10 here. This is a great game for Twisted Minds. Let's go ahead. Let's see how the defending champions are feeling.
Maybe we can get an advance in keep too, bro. Yeah, I know. I don't hear anything. Okay. Okay, start coming to the buy on us, Shifty. Start coming to the buy on us. We're gonna pop here. Coming. I'm about to pop. Yeah, I don't think there's anything here. Should we go? Okay, I'll bring it up. Okay. You need my cash? Yeah, I think so. No, I don't think you do. Oh, no, I don't. Yeah, 24. I'm getting a streak. Okay. Get into this house, bro. You got to pull up. Yeah, look at the left. Yeah, you guys should work those left kids. Work the left kids, by the way. Yeah, the low cave. I'm a crazy angle, bro. He is looking. I have a PA, though. I don't know if we can kill him, though. No res money, though. Like, don't die for kills. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, look at the solo fucking ahead of us. Can we not work these right here? I swear we can. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Crack the left. Yeah, watch over both. I'm using the PA. This kid's dying. Left's gonna die. Focus left. That's our down.
Twisted Minds, they want to take a little bit of a moment. They need to hit that buy station, get the tools that they need to try and close this map on out. And you hear in the comms, they know that FaZe is below them. They want to try and deal with them.
2 huge comms. First one is trying to work the players on the left so that they can rotate through the northern side of the map. It's actually going to be where the zone's going to pull, so all the decisions that just happened will pay out in spades if you are Twisted Minds. But also, don't scam. Don't sell yourself for a kill. Play for the positioning. We're 4 teams away from top 5, and the rest of the map can deal with that for us. We have win condition. Twisted Minds looking great to close the day out.
There's literally nobody in this new zone right now. Everybody's sitting on the outside of it. An opportunity right now to start to rein in hellfire. Some of these coaches looking on as they see the zone pull and saying, how the hell do you play against this? Killer found by Blast. It's going to leave a couple of members of CT Gaming having to make this push out. And Twisted Minds, all they have to do is just look over the top of this. There's so many different teams that the second they try and play up, the second they try and play on this top level ground, they're going to get zapped.
Roman has to drop back, actually, to lift Shifty back to his feet. That means, unfortunately, as Blast pushes out to gain space, he gets dropped. Eclectic back amongst the mix. T1 have eliminated Vitality. Everything starts to squeeze. All these teams inside of the bay are going to have to rotate out. DK down on the shoreline are going to be a problem. And Shifty's banging away, and anyone dares show their head.
Yeah, this is a great timing, a great opportunity to sit here. Just look at the kill feed. It's absolutely blowing on up, but look where the zone pulls.
We'll be right now as everyone moves out in front of Twisted Minds.
Allman Shifty, unfortunately, only has a 2 here. We'll be missing Blasties for this one, but not too much, because Allman's going to drop Echo.
Oh my
Stukex
God.
then plays on Disrupt, and Shifty finds Spam. T1 sat down. I think you will have a cell still available on Spam, but Gen G is a 2. Gonna just set themselves up for a moment. Hope that GK get over aggressive. Shifty and Allman, they're gonna wait. They're gonna let this all move out because FaZe Clan are beneath them and they need them to step out first.
It's all just 2s. That's all it is. It's just a game of duos here to end it. Some early shots coming on out. Clamp's gonna get aggressive. Nade's up over the top. Says, thank you, GK. I'd like this positioning. And they will take them on down. Now, does Gen G, do they swing on out, hearing all of this commotion, or do they play on that inside? A little bit of a gas play coming in from the remaining teams.
Clam just taking his sweet time, begging Gen G to rotate round. Zone's going to shift Twisted Minds up on top of the houses here, but Allman, he's in the prime position, again so early. The leader, the champion, the IGL, everything that he brings to the table. Giving Twisted Minds win condition right now. It will be a 2v2, but game falls to the gas. Aiden on his lonesome to try and close this one out. The buy's there, but Allman and Shifty, they won't care. This is welcoming extra points in from the skies.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, you might get some opportunity to give you the angle. Yeah, and unfortunately, both players from Gen G just going to be too weak from that gas play. Twisted Minds, they might just be able to play a little bit patient. They get blessed by a zone pull, and they're able to clean up that last game here of Group A, game number 6.
I go back to listening. I go back to the comms there. We've talked so often about their comms problems and the issues that they've had at times. Shifty gets dropped in that moment, and there's a kind of like in the comms you could hear it. Don't scam, we don't need to sell for kills, but also let's play these guys on the left. So they start to pressure the northern side. They don't do it by sending themselves onto the beach and into the caves. They hold the high ground still to allow in case the zone moves. So that then gives them opportunities in different areas of avenues that they can play around. That pays out in the end. However, it's that comment, it's that don't throw your lives for kills. Yes, Blast eventually dies. That's not an overextension. He was trying to provide on with time to get Shifty back to his feet. So great stuff from him, but also it's just a reminder. Guys,
yeah, they were locked in still.
We can let everybody else squabble over the small mass. We're just going to hold out on the long range and play that game. They do it brilliantly to get the win in the end.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's what we've come to know here in Call of Duty Warzone is that you can always just try and play for the best positioning, or you play for the okay one. And it feels like for T1, they were, for Twisted Minds, they were like, let me just play for the okay one. Maybe we'll just wait to see where this zone pulls. Let's take a little look.
Baby. I say that's a fucking banger we fucking needed. Come on, bro.
Ooh, Big Ben. He's getting loud.
I think he's been fantastic. And don't get me wrong, obviously, Blast and Shifty are both doing their thing, but at the core of everything has been almost decision-making on comms. Let's go back to even early on in that map. Keep. The war was raging on for a long time. We need to get out of here. We need to get into a position on the other side and keep set ourselves up for the late circle. What's the call from Allman? Shifty, come with me. We're going to hit the buy station, get the advance up, and make light work of this. Just that little decision there makes it so much easier for them and puts them in the best spot.
Fun little stat line for you through these first 6 games of Group A. Allman is out-fragging Blast by 2 kills, 26 and 24.
Having a day.
I don't know what it is, what meta shift we have, but the anchors are now coming alive and frying here. When we've just come over map, but it's really good stuff. Twisted Minds with that win and solid number of kills. They were lead our lobby at the end of day number 1 for Group A. I gotta think that they might want a little bit of momentum going into day 2, because reminder, folks, leader of the group gets to be the one that actually crushes the keys of the 3 teams eliminated. So for Twisted Minds right now, they are sitting very comfortably towards the top after these first 6 games. Really love what we saw out of the boys here today, especially with all of the noise that I don't think they're as good as they were. I think maybe they shut up the haters. But here we go already. End of the game here. End of the first 6 games. We got Barney on the stage ready for an interview. Let's go ahead. Let's see what he has to say.
Right, you do, gentlemen. I'm down here on the stage. I've got Fedi joining me from Novo ESports. A really impressive day. It didn't start out so hot, though, did it? But you guys started to pick up some steam.
Yeah, it started pretty slow, but at the end we got like 60 points of rebirth. That's what it matters. We're gonna play like this tomorrow as well, and we're gonna try to make top 5. So we're gonna skip survival stage. That's what it matters.
I love it. I love the confidence. You've got 3 top 4 finishes as well. Talk us through some of the highlight moments for you guys, because since you've settled into this team, you've been so impressive to see, man.
Yeah, well, in a game, I think we clutched up because we stayed off the zone. We killed that VP, and then
Is that
we got
Fede?
26 kill plus top 5. So that's where we started to play way better. And the game next, we got like 30 points again. So it was like a huge motivational boost as well.
I love that. That's what we like to see out here. A bit of consistency, because that's how you're going to get into that finals day. I want to talk a little bit about you, Fedi, because a lot of people had their eyes on you, like, you know, coming into these kind of larger tournaments, and also because, you know, you only kind of turned 18 this year as well. You joined the team after Birmingham. You joined two legends in Blade and Vortex as well. Tell us how it's been fitting into the dynamic of this team, and also feeling like you might be the missing link that's making this team now absolutely pop off on the main stage.
Yeah, well, it was not good because I didn't play for 2 years. I started to play Warzone like at 15, but I didn't play for 2 years because I wasn't 18. And now I'm happy because I can finally show up. And that's my second LAN. International, we played Atlanta really good, and now we're gonna play WC really good.
And how does it feel to play alongside Blade and Vortex, two legends of the game?
Well, really good. I'm playing really good with Vortex. We have a nice trade as well, so I'm just liking it. We're just playing really good.
Having a good time out here on the EWC stage. Fedi, thank you so much for joining me in this interview. Really appreciate it. He's gone. Don't worry about it. We're going to head back to the studio to talk about what we just saw in those first 6 games.
The confidence for Novo is there. He didn't even want to wait for Barney to finish talking. He just ended up walking off. And that's what a lot of these players are currently feeling like, especially with everybody that is done with Group A. I'm here with Miles, Gush, Shift, and myself, the 7WG. Honestly, let's start off with the top. Twisted Minds. What an impressive day today, Chef.
Yeah, and consistent across every single map. That's the thing that certain teams don't have in their back pocket that Twisted Minds is now showing us. Huge confidence boost for them, not being able to just finish multiple top 5s, but to do it across a multitude of different maps with high kill tallies almost every single lobby. They're looking strong.
They haven't done this in a while, guys. I know the land buff is real for this team. I think a lot of folks expected them to show up in this way, but this is a really big deal for a team like this, who still kind of had a lot to prove, even though they were defending champions. Making roster changes this late in the game, it's working.
Hey man, they're like that potpourri at Grandma's house. That smell is just everywhere.
Ooh.
Everywhere.
Gosh, you were actually telling me before we came on live that one team that has impressed you so far today when we're talking about consistency is none other than VP.
Yeah, Virtus Pro is a really interesting team because traditionally speaking, throughout the course of this entire series, they've been a very high caliber slaying team. Placement-wise has been frankly brutal to watch sometimes. They'll pick up like 15, 16 kills, but not even get a multiplier at all. They'll die in the first like 6 teams, right? And so to see them win 2 games in group stages, it is group stages. I want to kind of bring everybody back down to ground level. They got a lot more work to do, but Virtus Pro is looking good. They're slaying out and they're getting placements.
Yeah, top 5 right now, I think, in total team kills, which is right to your point. But that's kind of the thing, though, you know, as much as placements don't necessarily make the biggest of difference right now because you're just fighting to get out of pools, it is good to know that you can win and you can do it on multiple maps. I'm going to go back to my hot take, 7.
Wait, which one? I feel like you have had multiple today.
I'm still standing on the Ravens right now. 2 miserable maps to finish off their last 2 slips them down the standings. They are still top 4. They're going to make it into at worst the survival stage, but I'm still standing that Ravens are going to be on the bubble to make it to the instant playoffs after tomorrow.
Okay, I kind of want you to double down on this. By the way, for everybody watching, this is the standings after the 6 matches that we have had today. I'm going to put you on this spot.
Do it.
I have to shift. Ravens, do they end up making it top 5 tomorrow? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, can I just say, I love Shift, I love the hot takes, and I think it's a fair take to see them not dominating like they have. You gotta remember, they land with Twisted Minds in 2 out of 3 of
That's
the maps. The fact that they're top 4 right now is pretty dang impressive, given how much Twisted Minds is also doing well. Still, a little bit different than online.
Well, a couple of wins for them. I mean, Ravens, I'm with you, man. And also, Chef, for your sake, I'm glad that the French crowd can't hear us right now.
This is beautiful
We're
for me.
going straight
That's
out
such
to
a safe
the
hot take.
internet. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that there's nobody behind us right now. It's probably going to get worse. But as we're looking here at the second page, we see those bottom 3 teams.
Yeah, this is a big deal.
Oof, indeed.
I mean, the biggest deal about this is that at least H1 FaZe Clan and First Squad can go back to the lab before tomorrow. First Squad is kind of in the trenches right now. You need some meteoric games tomorrow to have even a chance. But H1 is still well within striking distance. They may need to change up some drop spots or maybe just be a bit more consistent. I don't know.
Yeah, for First Squad, 19 points here.
It's tough.
Yeah, First Squad out. I think they can add that to the back.
That tells you that we're getting a kill, and if we're really lucky, we're getting within the top 10. That's the very best you're seeing there. So for those guys, a mid to late game adjustment could change it for them.
But, I mean, the other big note on this page, too, Eclectic has actually been crushing it in the onlines, especially in scrims recently. And you see them on the second page here is a bit surprising, at least for me.
Really tough first 2 drops, though, Goach, on top of that. I mean, they had a 16th with 1 kill.
Yeah.
But everything else beyond that has been 10-plus eliminations, and the last 2 maps in particular have been top 8. So they're trending, in the right direction. It's going to be a stretch for them to get to top 5, but they should be out of the survival.
Well, Novo, I agree. And Novo on screen now, Fede, we had a great interview with him. The kid's cracked, okay? There's no debating it. It has taken this team a little while to get warmed up, but today, they look mighty warm here, Seven. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're averaging top 5 every game in the first 6 rounds, you've got to be feeling amazing for tomorrow.
Yeah, and Miles, kind of we're talking about setting the tone for today, right? I feel like for some of their squads, maybe the pressure was getting to them or the pressure wasn't getting to them, and you can kind of see that with Novo. With Novo, they were sounding so confident at the end.
That's a young man speaking with the wisdom of a much older player there. I mean, surrounded by legends certainly helps, but you know, when we envy the youth, but we don't envy being old. But now there's the wisdom there, man. Truly a very, very special thing. And again, looking confident in game, marking their territory. You know, they were looking really strong in and out. And that's the sort of thing you want to be seeing throughout the tournament for them. So excited to see how the rest of the tournament goes for those boys and the longevity of a career.
Absolutely. Yeah. For Novo, really, it's just get to the lab on Haven's Hollow. They were fine everywhere else. They talked about the rebirth boost that they were able to find in maps 2 and 3, or 3 and 4 rather. They just need to go back to the lab, figure out what they're doing on Havens. They're going to be fine.
And for tomorrow, after what we have seen so far in this first 6 games, especially for Group A, we do have Group B coming up. So for everybody watching, don't worry, we have some fun segments that we're going to be doing here. And if at any moment you want to share some stuff with us, make sure you use the hashtag EWC and hashtag EWC26. But let's keep talking about Group A here for a little bit, because we saw the tone being set by Twisted Minds. And boy, did they end up setting that tone. If you're one of those teams towards the bottom, right, and we're looking at a team being able to end up with just 19 points, you're going to be looking to throw everything in the kitchen sink tomorrow.
It's a tough group to play in. I'm going to be honest. Just making it to this stage is impressive. So even for a team at the very bottom of our leaderboards, they did have to battle through their regional qualifiers. Unfortunately, the regional qualifiers are nothing compared to what we're seeing here, even in a group stage.
That's the thing with the regionals. I mean, how many players in the EPO region? How many players in the LATAM region? And what kind of quality are we looking at? You might be the best in your region, but out here, it's just the rest of the world, and the ceiling is so high. So an impressive thing to do. Not an easy place to be playing from. Best of luck, boys.
Yeah, best of luck. I also want to give some luck, and hopefully, hey, let's get back into the lab. Vitality. They've had their ups and downs, but still, it's still a similar inconsistent team that I'm personally cheering on big time. Like, I'm not trying to be biased, but I love these guys. They've had their moments of greatness online and in person today, but they're not consistent enough. They're still second page.
I think it's okay to be biased.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Yeah. I'm getting my Ravens down here.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. They're fine.
Or just
They're
keep
lovely
stepping on
people.
them.
They're lovely people. But no, you're absolutely right about Vitality. I think what they're missing right now is longevity after forcing a lot of early fights. They had 2 really tough exits in terms of placement, but they were still able to find 7 kills, 9 kills, but you finished 14th and 16th. So it's trying to get the longevity to where you're not just forcing gunfight after gunfight, but let's be a little bit more measured and make sure we can at least survive, and we'll find fights later.
I mean, from the bigger picture as well, I want to see Smith in the running.
Oh, man, this
They try to find another win with a totally different roster as well. For me, that is what I want. I mean, biases aside, I'm here for a good, clean fight. I want a little bit of rivalry. I want to see those guys go at it in the finals.
It's worth bringing up the exact same storyline for another player, Aiden. I know the roster change it was made much earlier in the process leading into this series, but at the same time, it's still Aiden technically getting dropped. They wanted to go a different direction, and Gingy's kind of popping off.
Popping.
Especially the last 2 matches.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we were keeping an eye on them. We're like, okay, they're starting to be a little bit slow, but then it was everybody from that squad that actually started popping off.
Yeah, first and second back-to-back, and kill tallies have been consistent, even no matter what their placements have been. So, like, again, it's just like day number 1 is all about, like, let's set our checklist and see who's marking the boxes in the right ways. And so far, our top 5 teams have largely been able to do that. Yes, there are a couple of things that might not be perfect, but they're still feeling each other out on land. And yeah, absolutely right. Genji, Hyde kills, crushing in terms of being able to find good point tallies.
Oh gosh, I know you're gonna be casting the next Group B.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give you a bit of a sneak peek of what's gonna be coming in Group B, because when you were trying to say, I'm not trying to be biased, but I'm gonna be biased as heck when we go to Group B, because I want Falcons to be able to. I want to see Soka to just show that personality and for them to start off hot. What are you gonna be looking for in Group B?
I think they put out the caster prediction somewhere, and I put Falcons as well.
My boy.
At the end of the day, this is the. Oh yeah, I got you. At the end of the day, here's the hard part about Warzone. We always say anybody can win. It's always possible. Any team can come out on top. But for the Falcons, they got a little bit better chance than everybody else. Their win percentage is nearly infallible, especially on LAN. This year, it is infallible. They have not lost a LAN yet at this entire World Series, or this entire Resurgence Series competition. Birmingham, Atlanta, they were near perfect. They're trying to stay perfect in today's competition as well.
I often get asked the question, hey, how do you describe Warzone? How do you describe competitive BRs to people? I'm like, okay, here's what you do. You take a laundry machine, you take a bag, you fill that bag full of cats, and you put those cats inside there, and you turn it on, and you create this insane cycle. Then you take a brick, and you add a brick to the mix. And at the end of it, we find out, are you a cat or are you a brick? The Falcons have been a brick for the longest of time. Now, I know, folks, that was a really horrible analogy. I know it was a very graphic analogy, but I'm not wrong.
You just reminded me that I need to do my laundry, so thank you, Miles. I appreciate you.
Are you a brick or are you a cat?
A team that was definitely not a brick today is none other than VP. Thank you so much, boys. I think we have an interview with none other than VP.
Well, Miles, I can definitely tell you I'm a brick right now, all right? Now, I got the boys with me here. It's VP. We got the whole couch. Lace joined with me as well.
Taking me away from that desk, they're scary.
I mean, exactly, right? You hear how they talking over there. They are unhinged. Now, we're hanging out with the boys, man. VP, how are you feeling with your performance today? Going down the line, we got Destroy, we got Grimy, we got Adrian. But Adrian, I want to talk to you real quick before you pass the mic on over. I got a chance to chat with you before. How proud are you of you guys' consistency and performance going into the first set?
I'm super proud. We went in there, going fully with comms, trying the best that we could possibly play. I'm super excited. I'm super proud how we played, if I'm being completely honest.
I mean, there was a moment we got to listen in, and we can definitely hear like the passion that you guys had in your communication, and that sets you apart, because we've had some other listen-ins with other teams, and they are dead silent.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a test to you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Definitely is. You pass the mic on over to Destroy over here, because when you talk about passion, we seen you looking in the camera, letting everybody at home know that I am here to play with my squad, and we're gonna do the thing, man. Talk to me about your feelings kind of before the match and get it into it.
I mean, I already know, and I think everyone at home knows that Virtus Pro is a team when we are on all shooting and locked in on all cylinders, that we are probably one of the top 3 teams in the whole entire world. So I think for us today, it was just making sure that we had the right communication, we were trusting each other, and we just started the tournament off hot. We talked about it yesterday as well. Like, as long as we communicate well and just trust each other, whenever, I make a call or something and they listen like that, then we should have no issue out there, especially in the open bracket. We already felt confident that we were going to do decent. But today, man, we got 2 wins under our belt, and it just felt really, really good because we were all shooting on all cylinders.
I love that, and I want to use that to kind of segue into my next question. Haven's Hollow, all right? Did you guys get any curveballs in that first map within the first 2 as far as POI changes where the heals was going to be? Talk to me about your mindset, especially going into that map 2 and the one that you won.
Yeah, so for the first game, it ended up pulling a little bit off of our main POI, which is the computer zone next to research. And we knew we had to rotate, so we sent a couple of lives in research and were able to pick up some kills. And then as we were rotating out, after we picked up some of our kills, we weren't in the best position. And I think we might have got just outside the top 5, but we just kind of got caught on where we should have been. We talked about it afterwards, like we should have forced a fight that would have put us in a better spot.
Okay.
But after that game, then we had a really, really good zone in game number 2. Ended up going pond uncontested, which I don't think we will have for the rest of the tournament. But we had a really good zone pool there. Grimy in the beginning of the game, he's like, holy crap, boys, we should be able to win this game with this zone. Mind you, super, super early. And then we just did what we had to do, picked up some nice kills, trusted each other, and rotated when the time was needed, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I want to dive a little bit more into match number 2 because, yeah, you kind of had like that northern side zone, especially the chaos that was unfolding in Mansion. And now I've heard that you guys were sort of more of a kill-hungry team and not focusing so much on placement, but that game, it obviously switched around. You guys, I think, are about 5.4 average placement over your games, which is, you know, a lot higher than, say, Twisted Minds, who's just above you in those kills and stuff. What did you guys sort of, I guess, take back to the drawing board after being such a kill-focused team to now prioritize more of those placements? Because it's showing with winning, I don't know, 2 of these, so...
Yeah. So to start off, I mean, we have Grimy on our team, and pretty much every single game, this guy's literally a walking 8 to 10 kills, as long as me and Adrian stay alive for the most part. So with a zone like that where we don't have to rotate too much, me and Adrian can kind of just play safer, hold our POI down, and have Grimy go and rake up a lot of the kills for us. I think that game, he was 8 to 10 kills around that area, and he was just raking up kills. I kind of lurked around Mansion because I know in my head that Ravens and Twisted Minds are over there.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of, you know, picking up a couple stragglers as they're flying back in because they're fighting pretty much the whole time. Picked up some stragglers, and then I would just stay and help my anchor out. And then Grimy, man, he doesn't disappoint when we're locked in, so he's just always going to pick up those kills. I mean, at home, that was our biggest problem, you know, getting placement and stuff. So we kind of focused throughout the weekend just making sure that we get a little more consistent on getting those top 5s for that multiplier.
I love that. Let's talk to the Slayer on the team, Grimy over here. Now, going into Rebirth Island, you guys also win that map as well, going into map number 4. Talk to me about your perspective about what you guys kind of learned in that map 3 versus that transition going into that map 4, where you guys took over and dropped the most amount of kills that you guys did get on the win, which was 18.
Well, in game 3, FaZe and Nova, we're just fighting control the whole game. So I just knew if we made an end game, we would be able to force Nova out. And it ended up pulling towards like 10th and green. D made a great comm that we had an advance. He said no one's green, so we just all ran. We took green. We dropped money, I dropped money to D. He bought back Adrian. We took green, and that was that.
That was that, man, right?
It's just that easy.
That easy, home free to the victory, you know? But one thing I love about you guys is I can tell that you believe in each other. When those call-outs are coming in and throughout the mic, you guys are just, it's calming your nervous system down. You're like, hey, D made the call. We're going to go with that. We're going to hold off right here. Grimy's feeling confident. Let's ride this out. Like, Adrian, does that, you know, alleviate some pressure off your gameplay when you're hearing your teammates like that?
Absolutely. I mean, Destroy's kind of, you know, saying what's going on. We have an advanced UAV, like Grimy said. He's looking for those free rotations. And Grimy, you know, he's playing the kills. I think they both took like a super crazy 1v1, and they both won the 1v1. So that kind of set us up right there. And I mean, if Grimy's slaying, you know, I'm going to try my best to hype him up.
Yeah.
And same for D. Like, they're both super individually talented. And
you guys hang out like outside of games or something, because like, you know, to form the communication, you know, like I just imagine some teams doing like trust exercises and stuff like that. Are you guys like pals like outside of competition?
Yeah, I would say so.
You gotta be, right?
Yeah,
you
I feel
know,
like you have to.
No matter, you know, back in the day, me and my teammates, we used to have to just watch Netflix on the Xbox back in the day. Remember when they had the theater on the 360? Yeah. Team bonding, we watched Netflix, you know, that was our stuff back then.
No,
you know,
sure.
What do you guys do though, as far as team bonding? Like any specific activity outside of scrimming?
Honestly,
solitaire, you know.
He likes playing like party games. Sometimes I'll play party games with him.
Games.
I don't know, listen to music, stuff like that. It's really not much.
Hey, whatever it is working right now. Just keep on doing it. Now, let's talk about some things that wasn't working in this first set, all right? Any surprises from you, maybe from other teams out there, or surprises to drop something out there within these 6 maps?
Honestly, yeah. I would say, like, I feel a lot of players don't know, like, really what they're doing, and I think it's kind of just leading to people rotating to random POIs and stuff like that, taking random fights. But also that comes with, you know, people not playing the best and kind of, you know, trying to pull something.
Some out.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere here, EWC only, and like they're not gonna expect this right now, right? Destroy, you got something you want to elaborate a little bit more on that too as well?
So as they were saying, I think a lot of teams at home were really comfortable with one strategy. So when LAN time came and that one strategy didn't work for them, they didn't really know how to adapt or shift to it. For like FaZe, for example, they were landing at Control most of the games. They were fighting Novo ESports. We at home know how to do both. We know how to play the boat and we know how to play Control. So if, you know, something goes wrong, we can swap according to how the games are going. Overall, though, I think we were just all shooting. We were all playing confident, trusting each other. As I said, man, we just kind of held it down for Grimy, made sure that we were staying alive, and he would just go rake up kills for us. And then once Fire Sale came around 3rd zone, we all communicated that we just have to slow it down a little bit, because I think me and Grimy both sometimes are just so focused on getting these kills. As a lot of people know, we are a kill team, so most of our points do come from eliminations. But if we can continue to secure top 5s like we did today, that will put us over the 100-point threshold, which just gives us such bonus kills, because, you know, we're not averaging 8 to 10 kills. That he is averaging that on his own. So when we get a good win, it's usually between, you know, 15 and 30 kills, which I feel like a lot of teams, you know, they may get like 4 kills each, maybe 12 kills. But for us, man, we just focus on, you know, trusting my calls, the rotations end game, which, you know, I was already seeing the vision today. You know, we had a couple of advanced UAVs, which helped us get to these power spots, such as you mentioned, Green. We popped that advanced UAV and I seen it, and I thought my eyes were deceiving me for a second, because you would think that most of the top teams are already
would have been there, but no one was around.
So I'm like, Grimy, let's go. And he, no hesitation, won a critical one. I won one. Then we go over there, as he said, we rezzed Adrian, and then, you know, we at that point you just end up letting the game play how it plays out, because the zone ends up popping back towards Control. I have the smoke grenades. I call, yo, let's go. We all triple. We're just moving as one. So we were just moving beautiful as a team. We're all communicating. I don't have to repeat myself numerous times. They're just all next to me, and the trust was just there today, which I think is the most important thing as an IGL, having your teammates trust you.
VP had a plan and it was executed perfectly.
Oh my God, to the T. All right. Now, last question here, quickly. Grimy, I gotta ask you, because I know you're a straight shooter and you're gonna tell it how it is. Going into the next group, who's the team to watch out for in that group going into it? You know, I know probably some people say Falcons. Any surprises in that group?
Definitely G2.
G2.
Definitely G2.
All right, you heard it here from Grimy. Watch out for G2. And folks, that's going to do it for me and the boys of VP. Yo, guys, congratulations on y'all consistency. The tournament's still going, but great start to day 1. All right, that's going to do it for us on the couch at the pit stop. Back to y'all.
The human body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
For the first time ever, nations will compete across 16 titles over 4 incredible weeks, all in the pursuit of one championship.
This is your chance to stand behind your country, celebrate your players, and witness history from day one. The Battle Royales will include PUBG Battlegrounds, PUBG Mobile, and Apex Legends.
And of course, all of the action will be taking place from November 2nd through to November 29th. But the real question here, Lace, is, of course, who are you supporting?
I'm, of course, going for the Aussies. And look, you know, we got some underdogs, so I'm incredibly excited for Australia.
And I, of course, will be supporting the United States. It's going to be an absolutely insane 4 weeks of competition, so make sure you check it out.
Head over to esportsnationscup.com and buy your tickets now.
Kitty, I feel like we kind of got off to the wrong start when we first met in Paris.
She called me her little dog. On a compris que t'es américaine. On a compris.
So that's why I'm super excited that we get to have a traditional French meal. Oh, bonjour.
Bonjour. Bonjour, mesdames.
Merci beaucoup.
You're welcome.
Merci.
Avec plaisir.
Oh, I know some of these words.
Okay, like 6 huîtres. It's like one of the best things that you can have as a starter.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, and you can have 6 of them.
Oh.
Exciting.
6, 7.
Oh, God. Oh, wow.
Enjoy.
Nice. Merci beaucoup.
Avec plaisir.
Merci.
You take it with your hands like that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Then you can have that lemon. You
Okay.
can squish. I will do it for you.
I'm okay.
Are we okay here?
I'm okay.
And then you...
And here we go. Viva la France. I got it. I can do it. I can do it.
No, not with the finger.
I did it.
Not with the finger.
I did it.
Why?
It's really good.
You liked it? I'm so pleased. Maybe one more.
Okay. Oh.
How do you feel now?
Trebon.
And the best part is that we have so much more.
So, pourquoi this?
This is like a type of bluish cheese, and you also have jam with it.
This cheese looks like it has a little something growing on it.
That's the ones that are the most powerful. If you want to really taste cheese, you try that one.
Wow, that is definitely some mold. Now, if I peel it off before I eat it, so you know how sometimes they give you shrimp and the shrimp isn't deveined, so you gotta take like the poop out of it. All right, there we go. I think we got, okay, there we go. We got all the mold. Bon appétit.
Oui, à la tienne. So?
Regard. Did you regard LaShawn?
No.
You know what this is, Kitty?
Yeah, this is.
This is escargot, a French dish that I am definitely experienced with. So I'm going to teach you how this works. All right, so peep this. So you got these 6 little shells, and what's in them are snails. Now, in order to eat them, it's a little bit of a tricky process, but I'm going to show you. So you use this little clampy clamp. You're going to pick up the shell with the clampy clamp, like saw. Okay, and then you're going to use your fork to dig. It doesn't matter that I had a pet snail when I was little. 3, 2, 1. A little hot. I'm definitely not thinking of Gary the snail right now.
Congratulations.
Merci. So clearly I've nailed it.
Yeah, you've snailed it.
Ooh, wait, what?
It's a tartare, so it's raw meat.
I don't think you're allowed to eat meat raw. That's how you get salmonella.
Oh my God. How do you come up with all of that? What's going on in your brain every day?
It looks like they forgot to bring us a grill. So here's the thing. I can improvise, all right?
What
This
are
is
you
what
doing?
the Americans know how to do, all right? We bring our own equipment.
What are you doing?
I'm cooking for you. I'm appreciating your culture.
No, it's not appreciating the culture. It's insulting French. It's insulting me.
No. I'll
it is,
add the
it is.
salt
It
later,
is.
okay? So what do we have next up on the menu, Kitty?
It's called solmenia.
But salmon is supposed to be pink. So usually when I see fish, it's usually in stick form. I feel like we can just make one slight change to this to make it even better.
What are you doing?
It's just a little,
Don't do it.
bit of ketchup.
Don't do it. Don't do
A
it.
bit of ketchup. It's some of my culture with you. So
You
I'm just
don't
gonna
put ketchup on
a
it.
little bit of
Oh
ketchup.
God. Are you here to insult me?
No. This is actually really good. You should try some.
No, I don't want to try it. Don't
wanna
make
try a
me
little
try
bit?
it.
You
Don't
wanna
make
try
me
it?
try it. Oh my God.
It's really good.
It's just, you've gone too far. You've gone too far. I can't anymore. La cuisine française.
I think it's organic. I'm right. It is better.
Miles, we might need to end up doing some of that because I haven't really gotten a chance to get some of that sweet French cuisine. By the way, thank you for coming back and joining us. We're joined by none other than Repulse. Repulse, pleasure to have you, man.
How y'all doing, guys? Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here, dude. We know that the stream is live right now.
Yeah.
Still rolling.
Yeah, we got the boy Ketchup and Diaz over there. They're holding it down the fort for me, man.
We saw you trying to check the chat. You're like, put your phone away. I don't want to.
I'm over here making sure chat's taken care of, you know?
How are you enjoying the tournament so far?
Oh, dude, I love it, man. The energy is insane. It's like the appetizer right now. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, no drama yet. We don't have Twisted Minds versus Falcons yet, but I'm loving it so far, man. It's awesome.
Twisted Minds ended up showing up, though.
Yeah, I literally just had an interview saying that Twisted Minds, they're getting ran by Ravens, and then now these guys absolutely start frying, going crazy. Just my luck. As soon as I call them out, they start going crazy.
Dude, it feels like there's not that many surprises in the tournament so far. Everything feels as expected.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple teams maybe. I think for me, just FaZe Clan. I think they're in 16th or 15th as of right now. But for the most part, it's about exactly what I expected.
I gotta go back and check out the tier list. By the way, before we started, I was like, I've actually seen some of your tier lists, and I love the fact that every single time you would put a team towards the bottom, you'd be like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I have to put you there, but you're just probably not gonna perform this.
Yeah, you guys have to keep in mind, like, I'm best friends with a lot of these players, so like I gotta keep it $150 with them because I gotta be honest, but at the same time, I can't have them taking it offensive. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, you know what? We actually got the $100 squad. It's a trio, but we'll get a chance to add maybe a fourth player there as backup. So we got tier 1, we got Hisoka, Dongy, Shifty, Schmidt, you know, tier 3, then tier 5. So I want you to keep an eye on it. And for everybody currently watching the live stream as well, make sure you participate on this in the comments, or if you want to share on social media, use that hashtag EWC and hashtag EWC26. But Repulse, but yeah, I see your gears just going, Miles. He's thinking about it. He doesn't know who he wants to start off with, or maybe he does.
All right, people tell me I glaze him too much, but he's earned the glaze. I'm gonna say Soka. If I'm gonna build a God squad, I gotta start off with Soka, but that doesn't leave me with a lot of money here. So
we'll give you more time. First pick, Soka. Miles, not a bad
First
pick.
pick's a good. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone gets to watch like an artist at work, but the tier list master sitting here putting it all together. You guys have no idea the treat we're getting. But Soka's a very respectable pick.
Yeah, I think, okay, look, Soka, then I'll probably add, I think I gotta go tier 4, tier 5 now. I'm gonna go Spam Gola. How he's on tier 4, I have no idea, but that's a steal. And then last but not least, tier 5. Oh my God, you guys have Blast on tier 5. Yo, I'm picking Criminal God. What? That's a God squad. Spam, Criminal God, Soka. That's my roster.
Cash. Dude, what do you think about Spam? First, like, big time on LAN, Rookie of the Year contention?
Yeah, so I think Spam is really good, but he has been inconsistent on LAN. I talked to all the Rookie of the Years. I said, look, your guys' I think accolades, how you say it, they're so close together that honestly, Rookie of the Year is going to come down to this event. Whoever performs here, we have Sariel, who did really good in both lands. Honestly, I think he's my contender for Rookie of the Year. Fede couldn't compete in in Birmingham, then came to Atlanta, went crazy, absolutely popped off. Criminal God did insane in Birmingham, but then didn't do the greatest. They didn't make it to the final lobby in Atlanta. So there's a couple people that are, you know, they're not bad. Spam, I think middle of the pack in both of them. So depending on who does really, really well this Sunday, I think that's going to secure who gets, you know, Rookie of the Year for me.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Who you got? Who you think is going to perform really well?
Out of those rookies?
Yeah, out of the rookies. We'll go into who's going to win it later on. And
I think Sadiel. I'm going to answer 2 questions in one. I think Sadiel, he's going to pop off, and I think he's going to win it.
Sorry, I just speak to Sario. We shot a little content piece together, and he told me how excited he was, man. I was like watching a kid bouncing around, being so happy about this.
Yeah.
He said, "My dream, we win it all, and the crowd is cheering Sario." Yeah, so and I was like, "Live that dream, man.
Yeah.
Live that dream."
He's a good guy, man. He's a nice guy. He doesn't speak a lot of English, but you could tell he was so passionate. So I want to see him succeed, man. His story, I think, is amazing. Did all of this on console when everybody says it's impossible. So I want to see him succeed.
Shout out Sony.
I heard you shout it out earlier too. It don't matter if you're not on console. If you are on console, you can still do it. I mean, it's happening. It's happening for some of these teams. It's happening. But we are going to be going to Group B after we're done with all this. We'll get a chance to talk about all of that. But I kind of want to get a little bit of your predictions. I want you to give me a bit of a tier list here live right now in regards to Group B. Okay. Obviously, Falcons at the top, right?
Falcons number 1, I think, without question. Leviathan, they're going to be a swing team for me. Leviathan is really good, but they are very inconsistent. But when they're firing, right? Same thing for Gentlemates. Gentlemates, I think the buff on LAN, they're also going to do really good. Who else? I need to see him in front of me. I didn't remember.
You're good. This is why I put you on this spot. I just wanted to get. I just needed top 2.
No, the 2-3 is good, but I'm waiting now for as the Gentlemates enter the arena. You know, they know their time's up. I'm listening out for the drums and all the excitement. Man, it's going to be something.
Gentlemates, I mean, they're already started. You can hear them from here. They're
that could be them actually.
Yeah. They have the drums. They have everything ready. I'm actually so excited to see Sunday. You know, I think Gentlemates will make it no matter what. But them on Championship Sunday, oh my God, that's going to be crazy.
It's so nice to have a French tournament. You know, we've got big teams like Vitality. We've got Gentlemates bringing it. The fans are going to be so excited. And for the French players as well, there is nothing like playing in front of a home crowd, like a true home crowd. Friends and family in the arena, how special this is for so many players, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I was talking to Diaz about it, and this is off camera. We're just hey, who do you think could be the underhorse here? Who could, pop up? And he's like, my prediction is he thinks the French team is going to win not just because of the land buff, but because all 3 of the French teams have actually done really, really good recently. So I'm going to give a shout out to EU. Y'all been cooking. I just want to say that all year, EU has been slept on. Even last year, World Series of Warzone, they put a name for themselves out there. They did it better than literally the majority of all the NA teams. And they've continued that, man. They're doing really good. I'm not gonna say they're the best right now, but EU is actually frying.
But Enigma's back there somewhere.
We have seen teams take advantage of there being their hometown just bump, right? And I'm pretty sure that's gonna end up happening here too. But okay, all right. You have Falcons. Wait, do you want to answer? Have you answered yet who you actually think is gonna end up winning everything, or do you want to just save it?
I can say it.
Oh, say it, brother. Look straight at the camera.
The team that's winning. I hope you guys know they say have the worst jinx in all of the world. All right, the team that's gonna win is going to be the Falcons. I think you're crazy if you don't believe that. They've won both of the events. I will say the Shumat fortunes keep getting added to the mix. It's been a little, it's added inconsistencies to not just Falcons, but all the teams. So I still think out of any team, it's going to be them.
You need a map pool. You need a deep map pool.
I think I put 11 games. 11 games.
Yeah. Prediction. I ended up picking Falcons. I wasn't ballsy enough to actually pick the map, but if it does end up happening, we'll go find you. It'll be
let me know.
My boy. By the way, for everybody that might not be familiar with you, right, because we're here at EWC, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me over on twitch.tv/repulse or Twitch or YouTube.tv or .com/ or at repulse. I don't even know. Repulse, REPULLZE on all socials, man.
There you go. Well, I'll look it up later on, too, whenever we're talking about the Group B, and I'll give you a shout-out as well. Thank you so much for joining us, brother. Of course. As we're getting ready for Group B 2 stars, so stay tuned for that.
Everyone is playing, you're not yet. EWC Play is your all-in-one platform to compete in fantasy, pick'em, and quests for a grand total of $300,000 in prize pool. Build your dream fantasy team in 5 different games and track your score with live results tables. Predict the winner of every game, every group stage, and every tournament. Complete daily and weekly challenges to earn boosters that help you climb the global leaderboard. Got what it takes? Join EWC Play now.
All right, what is up? I'm Thiefkill. This is Scum in the Night. We're with AGAL. We're out here in Paris for EWC. And I want to show the boys a little bit of something, some local food. We're going to try a little something here.
Is that frog?
It's frog legs.
Is that frog legs?
It's frog legs. It's frog legs, bro. Dude, look at this.
Oh, baby.
That's nice, right?
Some nice
look at
thighs.
that, dude.
We trying this right now?
Are you hungry?
Dude, I kind of am.
Okay, I will say it does have like little leg bones in it, so
okay.
don't just go all in one. You gotta like eat around it,
Okay.
like it's a chicken wing.
Oh, okay. Cheers, mate.
When in Paris. Dude, we kicked each other.
Is there any meat?
Look at it. That's a cough right there, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, bro, it feels so wrong. Dude, it just feels weird because it's a frog. Dude.
That's not bad.
Bro, I get frogs in my garden at home. This is so messed up.
What do you think Gordon Ramsay would rate this dish?
It's kind of fire, bro.
I'd probably give like a 2.
I think I'm done.
The mental block is the
You
problem.
just put that back on.
Dude.
Jimmy's back there.
It's Kermit, bro. It's Kermit. It's actually kind of good, though.
Bad. You gonna eat an olive?
No.
No?
I got some bone. Ew, that was disgusting.
Dude, the olive was the best part.
You like the olives?
I do.
I'm not scared of the olives.
Get another leg, bro.
What are you boys rating out of 10?
I give the olive probably a 10.
What about the frog's legs?
The frog leg, I'll probably give it like a nice 2 or 3.
A 2?
Yeah.
So you're not messing with Paris food?
I mean, I had some croissants. Those were pretty good. The frog legs, though, I'm gonna have to lay off those while I'm here.
Callum?
I'll give it a 2. That ain't for me.
2?
It walking around before. no, it threw me off.
I'm eating another olive.
I'll give it like an 8. I mean, the chicken flavor was good. Like, it tastes like chicken. But the fact it was a frog leg, I kept getting this image of it like running around at me. It was freaking me out. No more frog legs for me. We gotta go track down some snails. That is gonna be the end of that. My teammates didn't really like the frog's legs. Paris, you gotta step up your food game. I didn't mind it. Not bad, not bad. I probably would never eat that again though. But yo, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. It's got like a full-on cough. Oh, look at this. Yo. Imagine this thing just leaping, bro, like boom. I can't believe they just made us eat this.
I might go vegan.
I'm vegetarian now, dude. This is terrible.
I think this is the best decision we ever made, or potentially the worst we ever made.
What about Dylan?
Let's talk about it in 6 months.
Okay, no answer. We'll see. I'm putting you on the spot here. But, I mean, Perks is replacing that coaching position.
Look, first of all, Perks. I believe, I come from traditional sports. I'm a converted gamer. I believe that successful sports organization have this intrinsic like model of legacy transmission from ancient players to the new one, because you transmit something else than just skill and craft. You transmit like the legacy and the mental edge that they had when they won. And so we had our player becoming world champion in Rainbow Six 2 years ago called Fabian, and then become the coach. And as a coach, we won the championship again.
Hope you all are enjoying the show as welcome back to the CUD Warzone Resurgence Championship at EWC 26. I'm the 7GG, and we're back with Miles Ross, Lace, and none other than Hold Shift. And I was looking at the crowd that we have behind us, Shift, and Leviathan, I'm hoping that you don't have a hot take with them, because there's a lot of people behind us. I'm not going to be able to defend you, brother.
I don't have a hot take for Leviathan, but I
yet.
do, teaser, have a hot take for the Gentlemates. Save that for later.
Save that for later. All right. Well, one team that we're going to be looking at here, especially in Group B, it's going to be none other than Falcons, Lace, because this team, I mean, they're one of the favorites to win it all.
I mean, that's crazy. Who are the fat? No, I mean, this team. I mean, we've been harping on about this team. I'm definitely in the green room this whole entire time, and they have been looking so good in every tournament that they come into. Not only that, obviously they got to get some of those club championship points as well, so they're going to be coming in with obviously a mission and a half. I obviously said at the start, you know, I'm kind of putting Twisted Minds against Falcons in that sort of storyline, and I mean, Falcons do have like 141 points to catch, but I do believe that this is the team that's going to be able to do it.
It's exciting to see as well as the group starts. Obviously, Twisted Minds have delivered the goods. We've seen a little bit out of Vitality, so now we have our trifecta, our winners from last year. Everyone's finding that success. All we have to see now is the Falcons come out on top, and once we do, we're in for a good run in that finals of the tournament.
And the thing is that you just mentioned it too. They're going to have a little bit of extra pressure when it comes to the club championship because right now, Falcon fans, I'm sorry, but I don't know if you're going to be able to trip it here as we're looking at Group B. You want to go with the general take already, or you want to wait a little bit? Let's savor it.
All right, well, I'm going to be looking at G2, okay? I just had a conversation with VP. Now, G2, I wouldn't slate them as underdogs, but I would put them as underdogs under Falcons. And this team is going to be exceptional. And I mean, top fragger anxiety. Let's hope they don't get a bit of anxiety at
Hey.
I'm going to leave the stage. I'm so sorry, everybody. But this is going to be another team that you need to keep your eyes on besides Falcons.
I've got G2 finishing top 3 in this group.
Okay,
I love that call out of you.
Thank you.
I'm down for fun. And I'm down for fun, but I'm down for fun.
Oh.
Because Juju is a beast, and I had a wonderful time with him in the content shoot, and the confidence is there, the capability is there, so I'm running with those boys.
And for everybody watching, don't forget to do your EWC Play app pick'ems right now. If you want to, just scan that QR code that just went away. If you want to bring it back, feel free to bring it back. But you'll be able to win some prizes if you do end up getting it correct. Maybe some money too. A lot of cool stuff. Just check out the EWC app. And while you're at it, don't forget, share stuff on social media. Use that hashtag EWC and hashtag EWC26 because I want to see if we can maybe find something that we can showcase.
I got lots of cat pictures after my analogy from the previous segment. Lots of cat pictures.
You got to send me some so we can maybe
I
try
will
to put
share
it on
them.
the
I
show.
will share them. Friend on social media delivered about 4.
Why did no one show you any brick pictures?
Because not a lot of bricks out there in the world. The bricks are down there, and we're going to find out who they are.
We got the bricks at the start with the air ball. Sorry, I had to.
No, that would have been better if I had a brick. Would have been way better.
This guy falls. This guy
would have been so much better if it was a brick.
I'm gonna let you savor that hot take that you had even longer.
Okay.
Because we are getting ready to start Group B. So why not? We waited long enough. Let's get started.
I had such a cool.
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue pour notre deuxième partie de journée. Le groupe A vient de faire son entrée en scène et a déjà fait ses 6 games. Mais maintenant, c'est l'heure au groupe très relevé, le groupe B, de rentrer dans la compétition.
And just like that, day 1 is complete for Group A. And so, our focus now shifts to our next contenders. You've seen what's possible, but now it is time to see how high the bar has been set.
$1 million, rentrer dans l'histoire de WBC et essayer de soulever le trophée sur Warzone, toutes les équipes en rêvent. Mais pour y arriver, il faut déjà faire un bon group stage.
This isn't just about skill or synergy. Reputations are on the line. So it is time to put your money where your mouth is. It is time to silence the doubters. And it is time to introduce Group B to the main stage, starting with Fnatic.
AGL!
Gamax ESports.
Forfun ESports.
Ninjas in Pajamas E-Star.
Godlike ESports.
JD Gaming.
The Vicious ESports.
Nemesis!
New icon.
Guy Vedati!
Leviathan.
Gentle Mates!
Team Orchid.
G2 ESports!
And finally, your reigning club champions, Team Falcons! À partir de maintenant, chaque décision compte, chaque élimination, chaque point, chaque clutch. Les 48 joueurs du groupe B sont prêts à lancer les hostilités.
They've watched from the sidelines and now they get to make their mark. Just how electrifying can day one get? I think it's time we find out.
Faites du bruit!
All right, it's Group B time on day one, Warzone Resurgence Series Championship. I'm Goj, I've got Seymour next to me, and we got a chance to see all of our players walk in. Feels like a brand new start to a brand new day, but we've been out here a couple hours. Seymour, how the heck you feeling, man?
The Group A was on fire. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start to the Warzone Resurgence Series Championships here at EWC, and for Group B, this one's going to be a ride. I think a roller coaster because everything shaped up the way that we thought for the most part in Group A. Group B, a little bit more tight-knit, a little bit more opportunity for upsets and some dark horses to take the light.
Yeah, this is a really big moment for a couple teams to really step up and show who they are on main stage. This is almost feels like a given at some level for the Falcons. They still have something to prove, I guess, if you've never heard of them. Besides them, though, somebody like the Gentlemates, they've got the loudest crowd here by a mile now. You heard the boos for every other team besides the Gentlemates, but they have a lot to prove at home on main stage with a lot of people watching. A lot of expectations for a team that's frankly been struggling. It's one of the biggest stories of this group. Can the Gentlemates step up and step out right now?
We got some crowds here for Leviathan. I loved it. We had a lot of cheering in the crowd for G2. I think that the one thing is for certain, Falcons aren't the ones that people are going to be cheering for today, and that is the big question in my mind because we talked about how dominant this team has been. Birmingham, Atlanta, first place finishes, both lands that we've had this year. You're looking for the three-peat here in Paris, and I wonder if it's going to be a little bit different without having that crowd behind you.
You know, it's a fun conversation as well that lands, we always say, hey, they play a little bit slower. People don't go for as many kills. I'm going to be honest, the points in the first group were kind of top-heavy, man.
It was.
Fifth place was Novo. They had 96.6 points throughout the course of 6 games. That's an average of 16.1 points a game through 6. That's the metric for success if you want to go straight to the finals and skip the Survivor stage. Top 5 is what you're looking for.
And I like that the desk was kind of bringing up that Orchid team because talk about their Atlanta performance in reference to those points. I mean, you look at adding Master 5K to this trio. You got Sariel having probably the biggest pop-off rookie performance of the year. Repulse was even saying that he's got the opportunity to take home Rookie of the Year. And when you added Master 5K to this roster, it boosted them up to an average kills in Atlanta of nearly 14, giving them that third place finish. And if you're looking at setting that bar towards like 16 kills per game to get to top 5, I look at Orchid to really set that precedent.
Well, 16 points per game is the big ticket. So when you're scoring 14 kills, you just need you need a little bit of some multiplier there. It's a great shout, Seymour. I'm glad you brought that up because Orchid was the top fragging team in Atlanta, which was our last LAN event. But of course, I don't want to skip over the Falcons. Let's talk about the last couple LAN events. The Falcons have been non-stop winning everything this series. The only map that's technically on paper kind of sort of weak, it's not even Fortune's Keep that was added in recently. They're still the top-ranked team on Fortune's Keep based on the stats that we have. It's technically Rebirth, which is an interesting stat for them. They're a top 5 team on Rebirth, but they're not top 1 like they are on the other 2 maps.
So I wonder if Rebirth is going to kind of be where we look at other teams to pick it up after Havens. You know, maybe Group B, you take a little bit of a slow start. You're just trying to establish yourself on land, and everybody's just kind of getting a feel for what to do.
Yeah, and very important point about the Falcons. Yes, we know they have Slayers. Yes, we know that Dongi's unbelievable, but they're all unbelievable. They're a well-rounded team. What's unbelievable is their placements. They are averaging, in Atlanta, they average just under 4. 3.7 was their average in placements across all 11 games. It was unbelievable the consistency that team had. So you see Gentlemates out in strides, though. Let's briefly talk about them. What's been going on with this team? They've had their ups and their downs.
I mean, 13th place in Atlanta, 10th place in Birmingham. You have to imagine that if there's one place that Gentlemates are going to turn up, it's going to be with your hometown crowd. And you look at them, everybody's showing up, the bleachers are filled, the chants are loud, and you know that that is going to put some fear in the minds of a lot of your opponents. So you look at it, I mean, you got Gentlemates looking to turn things around. It's just, can you perform on land?
Well, and we know that Gentlemates can perform on land, they just haven't, right? They got second last year at EWC, and so when you look at the Gentlemates, you know that they're fueled by their crowd, but they're also fueled by the hope of what they've done in scrims. I mean, Inkyo's popping 1v19s. I know we all saw that clip, and also in the most recent scrim, 21 kills by himself in one game. It was ridiculous. These guys have the firepower. It's about piecing them together when it matters most.
And it really brings up the question, too, if you don't perform here in Paris, do you even see the Gentlemates together next year?
Yeah.
That is one thing that I'm sure this trio is wondering. Is just what does next year look for us if we don't turn up in this tournament right now, especially when you have a lot of rookies on the rise, not just Serial, but this Leviathan team with Criminal God.
Well, there's a lot of folks we should talk about, and you're right, 100%. There's a lot of roster questions up in the air, but this is still day 1 of a multi-day series. We've got a couple days of group stages. Then, Gentlemates are going crazy. I love those guys. Green suits are insane. I got a lot of love for them, but again, you're right. This could blow apart at the end of this if they can't piece it all together. There's a runway, though. You don't have to be top 5 at the end of our 2 days of group stages. That's nice, but there is a survivor stage. You just can't be bottom 3. I would put my house up on the fact that they're not going to be bottom 3, but hey, I've been wrong in the past, and hopefully won't lose my house today. But
you know what? Like, maybe you make it to the survival stage, and we just get to have the Gentlemates crowd just showing up on all days, not just the 3 days.
That's exactly right. There's a lot more teams we can talk about in the Group B standings, though, because I think you brought up the point right when we swapped over, that this feels like there could be some big upsets. There feels like there's some room to move in Group B. I think we'll see Falcons through no matter what. Leviathan been fairly consistent. They struggled a bit in Atlanta. Not sure the reason why. I can't imagine we won't see them at least in their survivor stage. But let's talk about some of these other teams that are a little bit more of a question mark. Miles brought up For Fun Esports, right? Let's talk about ups and downs. When the lobby is a little bit weaker, For Fun stomps everybody. It's not even close. They go through quals to get to the stage after not making it through Atlanta. They get second behind Vitality, but those 2 teams kind of ran away with it. Every time they've been trying to qualify for the other lands, they're stomping everybody that hasn't qualified yet. They're now in a big stage against great teams. Can they finally step up and win against great teams?
That's the thing. I mean, you heard it from Miles, too. Juju's a beast. And the community loves For Fun. It's just if you show up here in Paris, you kind of you turn up and you change that narrative for your squad. Anybody can show up on the day, and I think that's a great shout because, I mean, this For Fun roster, when they are on, it is really hard to slow them down. So I'd like to see this For Fun roster. I think that there's a other rosters too, like AG Global, or you look at the Vicious, New Icons, Fnatic, a lot of teams that in the Warzone Resurgence series, they didn't really get to go to Atlanta or Birmingham, so it's like you're getting new regions as well mixed into EWC that we didn't get to see on LAN, and I wonder if that changes a lot.
100%, man. We could talk ad nauseum about most of these teams here on main. While we wait for the players to get all ready, we've got some really cool content we want to show you, and you'll be able to see this first map in just a moment.
Special report. The Esports World Cup is here and Warzone has been chaos in the build-up. And if you're a little lost, don't worry, because we've got you covered in this episode of The Hot Drop. In today's news, the Falcons are still everyone's favorites, but with teams finally growing a pair and refusing to give them exactly what they want, we've never seen so much competition. Last year's winners Twisted Minds have changed not one, but two of their champions, with a mid-season drama that could rival any box office. They've ended up looking potentially worse. Other dog horses from North America include sides such as Virtus.pro, who have kissed and locked it in after their tiff threatened to destroy them. And G2, who finally grew up and got over their LAN anxieties in Atlanta. Gen G are actually on their 48th drop spot and role change of the year. And to top things off, it got worse when the Gen G general manager received a barrage of abuse from the Falcons coach Mutex. In solidarity, Vitality coach Ebates released a small statement saying, "I need time to heal." Gen G's Aiden also refused to take the comments lightly. My knees hurt just watching that. Fnatic bring 3 familiar faces to EWC, while FaZe are on their 3rd roster of the year. LATAM fans will be hoping that the swag curse doesn't stretch as far as France. Speaking of the French, the Gentlemates are expected to be backed by a capacity crowd here in Paris, and they'll need them, because while their online performances have been stellar through 2026, their LAN has been considerably less impressive. So for Grommelok, Hallow, and the one as tall as 3 apples, the French have some weird sayings, don't know what to tell you, they'll be hoping to give the home fans the showing they deserve. And they aren't the only local side looking to bring a revolution, as Ravens and Orchid are here in great form too. There's actually some rumors going around that these 3 are going to mix amongst each other post-EWC. To get to the bottom of those whispers, we've put our best man on the case.
Tell me about Rostermania.
Calme-toi, frérot.
Tell me about the French super team.
Je suis la team. Je suis super.
Who's making the roster moves? Bring in the next one.
It's not just the French spicing things up, it's Hellions, Novo, and Eclectic come here in great form too. Particularly Zanx, who's been keeping cool in the summer heatwave, playing and winning in a dress. For those of you still unsure about everything going on, we're heading live to the man with the best Warzone stream on the planet. So, Biffle, of course, we're here for the esports.
All right. Let's get to the real questions. Diaz, are you coming back next year?
Hey, no comment.
Okay, are you Shifty and Soka's daddy? Do they need you?
100%, of course.
Do you think this is the most competitive season we've ever had now that you're gone?
I mean, everybody's hitting match point. I mean, I think the scene's in shambles, so.
All right, back to you, Enigma.
Recent competitions have been record-breaking, by the way, with 14 maps, 12 teams hitting match point, meaning literally anyone could take it. Oh, and there are 5 Rookie of the Year contenders with Spam, Sariel, Fede, Criminal God, and Praise all stepping out on the stage. Anything else? Oh, of course, yeah, the weather. Got to check in with Dan. Dan, how's the weather?
It's hot.
Never misses a beat, that guy. And that is why he's my duo. This has been The Hot Drop. I've been Enigma. Have a fantastic Esports World Cup.
Unbelievable, man. It's hot.
It's
what
hot.
A beautiful piece telling the story of the scene. Man, that was awesome, but we are about to drop into our very first map here in Group B. We got to lock back in, or I'm going to be talking about that for way too long here, Seymour. As we jump into map 1, Haven's Hollow. First look, first team pops off the page. Who is going to jump out in the first map and set the tone for Group B?
I look at everybody other than the Falcons. I think you have an expectation for the Falcons to turn up. That's without a doubt. but I mean, Enigma was talking about in his news report, G2 over their LAN anxieties. Does that carry over to EWC as well?
Yeah.
Orchid, Rookie of the Year conversation for Sariel. How does he look off this hot drop? It's just, how do you break out the gates playing at your best? I mean, obviously, we had the format change where it's like, where now you're just looking to be not in the bottom 3 of your group to get eliminated after day 2. You're just trying to get that consistency, and you want to make sure that you can buffer that out, that you don't have to play catch up later on.
Big key factor as the players are loading in and about to drop out of the skies here in Havens Hollow. Big factor is, can you win your drop spots? Some of these are for free, some of them are not. Will we see some shakeups? Will we see some people casting spells, as Miles said? Let's get it. Havens Hollow, baby.
Are we going to see cats? Or are we going to see bricks? That's the big question.
Okay, already starting out hot as the Falcons changing things up. The Falcons are up in Mansion, hunting kills and dying in the meantime. Holy moly, folks. No boat today, not in Group B. The Falcons moving around the map without Twisted Minds around.
Yeah, no opportunity to kind of get out the gates early if you're NIP looking for the Mansion. You gotta show up, you gotta take down the Kings, and it's not gonna be easy. You got Nemesis here as well, and these 3 are also looking to make some waves from across the pond. I gotta sit down with them. They feel loose, they feel good. I'm excited to see what Nemesis can bring this weekend.
Man, I haven't watched Limax compete in a dang while here in Warzone. It's good to have him back. The Aussies really looking to represent. After doing unbelievable in the APAC region with hardly any competition, finding another floating in the sky. Noob's completely lost on what's going on and where Bray's at, somehow missing him. This is an interesting play. Again, all of the players, they all know where people usually drop and therefore wanted to change some things up. The Falcons have moved over to Mansion, causing a bit of chaos. They usually land boat on the south side of the map, but they know that 2 of the teams that dominate Mansion usually, Ravens, Twisted Minds, they're in the other group. Was it free, or did they just think it was free enough? We'll see what happens with that, but take a look at Leviathan over at Train Station. Mostly alone. We expected a bit of a contest, and it looks like they've actually got some early kills and pushed some people out.
Yeah, my big kind of look right now off the drop is Research. I mean, this is highly populated right now. You got Fnatic, Gamix, Orchid all here, and just above them, that's going to be the Vicious, who have potential third party if this gets a little bit messy in the Research. I mean, you're trying to stay a little bit loose right now. If you're Vicious, you don't want to dedicate yourself to a POI just yet. See what you can pick up on the outside. See if you can grab some exits and some early KP.
Yeah, reminder, the Vicious came from the MENA region, and they won by over 40 points against the competition over there. But this is a much more stout lobby, holistic lobby with a lot of skills, so a lot more to prove for a roster like that. Crushing their region, and a chance to at least make it a survivor stage, if not further. But you're right, Research a bit mixy. We swing over to Chapel, which has been mostly cleared out here. It's actually Patrine that's cleaned this out, and it looks like Leviathan are going to get active. Reminder, Leviathan over at Train win their early engagements. They win their POI. They keep their anchor there. You can see them just on the backside of this mini-map, and they send their 2 fraggers out to go get some kills, hopefully. Z-Dark, Criminal God, unbelievable rookie. We're moving up, but now it's just Z-Dark moving in, trying to find some early picks, and looks like immediately sniffed out Patrine from the top side, throwing some warning shots saying this is not where you're going to find a free kill. You're going to find yourself back up into the skies here shortly.
Yeah, this is where you're kind of walking into new icons as you move from station into the church. And Leviathan going to be feeling very comfortable at taking these 3 down. It's just weeding them out of these corners. That's going to be the issue, as New Icons are doing a fantastic job of just surviving, and they've actually drawn in some friends as well to come play. That's going to be For Fun Esports working in from the pond. You get caught there, you do have your anchor, so no big deal losing a couple of these fights, but we also got some stuff going down at Research, as it looks like AGAL are looking to get into the mix with, what is that, 6 other squads?
Yeah, a ton of people on the north side of the map. You can see where our zone is beginning to pull here in just a moment. The big key factor, look at that little cyan blue at the bottom at boat. That's G2. Usually at Lumber, they rotated over to what felt like a free boat without the Falcons in the area. This could really open G2 up to having a fantastic map, not having to worry about the Falcons like they usually do. Here comes Scummin, swinging in, finding one. Adrenaline deeply in trouble, that entire roster. in a bit of a blender, as it looks like AG are actually having a pretty solid map. You got to remember, this AG roster is star-studded. FIFA feels like top 10 earner in Warzone history. Scummin has found his way to top 3 positions on LAN over and over again, and this year, this roster has been struggling. Funny enough, though, Knight is one of those players that has found his way into competitive rosters recently and has had a mixed amount of success, but right now, things going well for the team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how AGAL kind of figures this one out. You've had 3 tournaments on the year, and you've had 3 different thirds, starting off with Oki, Prodigy, and it's been a mix of bags here. Knight's going to get caught. You can put it into the rest of your team to see if they can clutch up and bring them back. You can see Scummin will be able to redeploy. You're doing a great job of just staying alive right now.
Yeah, big factor right now. The team that owns the south is G2. They're going to have to move out of boat here shortly, but they've got pretty much the entirety of the south side of the map. This is the big north battle to try to stay alive. Barely still up. No, gets cut down, but I believe the teammates still being able to spawn back in. That's not all of AGL, but they are in a bit of blender as AGAL try to find a new position on the map to regain and recoup it. It may be Mansion, where they're going to be in for a rude awakening as the Falcons are still holding out on the top side of Mansion. But we swing over to JDG. Melvin's actually got 6 right now, playing around mid-map through Main Street. Probably going to see the likes of G2 off in the distance. There they are. They've already rotated up from boat, and they're actually skipping town. They may move all the way up to Barn here shortly to play through mid and play for a later game, especially with amount of kills they're able to pick up already. But Slappy swinging in, catching one completely unaware. Nate Dogg lost for a moment as he was running away from a different team. Third parties are always in, folks, in Resurgence. And it looks like JDG is winning out of most of this party. Down goes Vidati as well.
And Godlike's going to have some trouble regaining. Everybody walking into the likes of JDG. This is a squad that I have on my eyes for Group B to really turn up. Birmingham 14th. They cut that in half in Atlanta to 7th place. Can they do it once more to climb the ranks here in championships? As we get the zone kind of pulling in, everybody's moved from research back in towards the mansion. You got a whole conglomerate just trying to coexist for this rooftop.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of space in Mansion, so a nice regain. Unfortunately, there's too many people at the party, and the first team to go down is the team that we were hyping up, but they fall in the place that they are seated, 16th for AGAL.
That just shows how hard it is to regain on Havens Hollow. But the action's not going to be done as Falcons still controlling the top of Mansion. Dongy's down, going to have to be rebought by the rest of the squad. Good slide out from Noobs, controlling the tempo, controlling the space for his squad. If you do get Dongy back in, and he will come back. Hisoka as well going to be brought into the mix. Falcons looking good. Noobs on 3 kills.
Big look at the top side of the map as the Falcons are still farming through Mansion, but there's a couple teams on the low side that are going to stay there for a while up until this new zone. Currently, it's still G2. You can see them on your minimap now, just out at Barn, controlling dead center of this zone. They've been in control. They're finding kills, and it's Leviathan moving over from Train, making big waves. They've won the West this entire time, and they're finding a crazy amount of kills between the 3 of these guys. They are moving with a mission. Davis Amir shows up on land, and he's showing up in game 1.
This is big for Criminal God. You know that Leviathan are going to show up to EWC. Z-Dark, Amir, the new trio on the year. Criminal God, Rookie of the Year contender inside the church. They are on the outside of the circle, just trying to work their way in. JDG going to try to recover from the bottom, the south side of our circle, moving into where G2 has barn control. And there's a whole lot still going on inside of the mansion, over towards Coal Depot, just on the exit. That's where I'm looking at Gentlemaids, trying to move in. Haven't seen too much of them.
Flank is doing a great job of camping that buy from the ultimate high on Mansion. Nobody contesting For Fun up here. You gotta remember, For Fun plays through Pond, worked their way into Mansion, and through the chaos actually found themselves in a power position. Falcons still in the area, but not contesting height as of current. A lot of blows exchanging off screen right now, and that's all on the south side of the map. It's a bunch of trades. No full teams of 3 currently, and it does look like, in the meantime, Vision here on main, NIP, they thought they might be free up at Mansion. Most expected some folks to change things up, but NIP have farmed kills up on the north side of the map. NIP leading this lobby technically in slaying prowess.
Hey, you might be thinking it's a blessing right now that everybody's trying to contest you on Mansion. They've been waiting for a little bit of company. We're getting another zone close as we head into the 4th circle. And that's where things are going to start to dwell out. It looks like that circle is going to be dead center between Barn, Mansion, as well as the outskirts of Research. That means a whole lot are going to have to rotate away from the safe zone. Mansion players who are on the roof are going to have to decide, do we jump off, do we play through the building, or do we want to play into the courtyard?
Gentlemates are stepping up in map 1. And the crowd is loving it. They made it into our first multiplier looking at top 10. Unfortunately, Sariel goes down, and that's going to be a wipe. They do get 1.2 multi, but that's all that they're going to have moving into the next lobby. Gentlemates have one out on the southeast. They're going to be moving their way across bridge, across the train. And they're going to try to make their way, train cars rather, they're going to try to make their way into mid-map. Quickly, though, it looks like Showstopper Vision still setting up a great trap on top side for ForFun. ForFun getting obliterated. A great play from McKeem, expecting the fight. King AJ on the backside. ForFun did not know where he was, and they set up the perfect trap. Get to top 8, looking for a lot more. They got a ton of kills up here at Mansion.
And that's NIP again, just cleaning up house. You still have the Vicious, Falcons, a late rotation of G2 into the Mansion as well. As just a solo is left for G2. Nemesis down to 1 as well, just towards the top right. You got trios to the bottom of Gentlemates, as well as JDG and Leviathan in some great positions to clean up everything that's about to leave this mansion.
Yeah, we see our lone survivor of G2 being pushed up because Leviathan won out in Barn in that engagement that we missed. So down on the south side, Leviathan is still trying to win the south because Gentlemates, look at where they're up at train wreck. They're up on this train car side. They're actually on the full eastern side as they rotated up north, and that's allowed them to win an entire side of the map.
Oh my God.
And this next zone is going to be everything. But look, JDG wins the engagement against Leviathan, who've been steamrolling through the competition, but Gentlemates feel like they can third-party this, and they get here fast enough. Gromelok taking down Melvin. FLS in deep trouble. Gentlemates finding kill after kill, weeding out the competition, and now they are alone on the south side of the zone, while everybody else is trying to figure out who's going to move first out of Mansion.
That was messy from Leviathan. They lose the 2v3, and because it was drawn out, Gentlemates, they get to clean it up. They're going to be solo on the south side, just looking to pick the bones of what comes out of this mansion.
Usually whoever moves first loses, but everybody moving a bit too late, so the Falcons go first, and they swing around the right side, having some intel, hearing the gunshots on the left side of Mansion as everybody's leaving. Falcons actually get out for free somehow because Adrenaline, trying to find his opponents, realizes they're on the other side of the wall. Now Donkey's already rotating. He's got an angle to play for this. Whoever comes out on top of this fight between Adrenaline and King AJ, and I don't know who's going to win this, but the Falcons are going to reap all the rewards, especially with a zone pull like this. Look at what the Falcons have just pulled. Falcons get the pull, and Gentlemates immediately move to try to get some intel, see where the earliest team is to rotate, see if they can get there first. They clean up.
Gentlemates are going to take the long way around. They know that they need to beat the Falcons to this new ring. They're going to bunk up in the house. Falcons on the inside, they get caught in the rotation. Doggy and Hisoka are gone.
Gentlemates poised, ready to prove to the crowd that they are the team that they want them to be. The Gentlemates take map 1.
Hometown, home crowd, and look at the green suits. Getting hyped for their squad. Opening up Group B with a banger, controlling the south side, rotating accordingly, playing for position, and reading that end circle perfectly. Falcons from the inside of Mansion, they bunk up, they go for the change up, they contest NIP, and man, they did a great job at getting into that top 2. But what a read from Gentlemates just to get a better angle on that last fight.
Crowd is already electric, man. And again, we were talking about things going to script maybe in Group A, which is, I'd say, debatable. Gentlemates on top early, not according to script. Not the script that we've seen on land, at least. But it is according to the script that we've seen online. Gentlemates, very strong team, playing very well. Let's take a look back on what they were able to do. We see them early rotate. You called it out well. They go long, deep into the gas to try to beat the Falcons, who actually rotated first. The Falcons were so a bit disorganized in this rotation because they were so focused on the other fight across the way coming out of Mansion. They thought up a crazy amount of kills and then get shot in the back, and then they're down in player advantage, and the Gentlemates are able to clean up.
It's crazy too, because 2 more seconds and that could have been NIP in that position instead of the Falcons. I think, you know, you look at NIP, who were faced with such a hard, difficult task in game 1. I mean, they thought they were going to be Mansion alone. Everybody's going to be contesting you. A ton of teams are dropping in to play around you, especially with Falcons stepping up like that. Like, that is hard for NIP, and they stepped up in game 1.
I mean, there's a even much larger macro conversation we can have about the Falcons playing north side of the map in general. You got to remember, Gentlemates play out of Cole usually. G2 down in Lumber, they usually could engage because the Falcons are a stone wall, but the Falcons weren't there, so G2 rotated out and Gentlemates had everything for free. Crazy stuff, so much fun here in game 1. We got a lot more for you in game 2 in just a moment. Can the Gentlemates maybe go back to back on Haven's Hollow? Woo, we got some cool stuff here in just a moment. We'll be right back.
We were there for every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind, and we're here now. The proud founding partner of EWC, powering the biggest event in gaming, shoulder to shoulder with the world's best, making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion, reach your impossible.
Vai ter medo de uma streaming? We've decided to hop on over to Allianz Vault and check in with Trav because we have Street Fighter going on here and we want to see how things are going so far.
Yeah, well, so far, it's been a day of the Falcons, whether that be good or bad, to be honest with you, because the favorite of the entire competition and the reigning champ from 2024 and 2025 kind of flew out of the competition in a bit of a surprising way. Yeah, Xiao Hai will no longer be competing in Street Fighter. He got bounced out of this, and he got bounced out of Fatal Fury earlier in the Esports World Cup as well. His teammates, though, kind of making it up for a little bit. Crime and also Mickey have been doing a little bit better, still powering through their brackets. But it's very much a disappointment for Falcons because he was the one they expected to win. But in other news, it's Zeta Visions, the rejects, that have also still got a lot of participation in Street Fighter. They're looking to try and get some points on the board as well.
All right, we're seeing a little bit of a trend here with Falcons struggling to get that win that they're looking for in games that they were expected to do really well. So we'll check back in a little bit and see who ends up taking the whole thing home in Street Fighter.
Falcons might be struggling on other stages, but they're not struggling here for COD Warzone Resurgence Championship at EWC 26, second place in this match.
Yeah, and I think just you look at the club championship, you go back to the first EWC, when Falcons were signing rosters, the Warzone space is where they were anticipating to get their championship. The fact that we're 4 weeks in now and they still don't have one, yeah, they're riding on this team right here.
They're depending on it. They really need it. If they're actually able to get it, they're going to jump up on the leaderboard, and that's something that the Falcon fans are going to be looking to do. Earlier, you told me you had a hot take, and I'm so sorry. We didn't have enough time during our segment to actually talk about it. But Gentlemates getting the first win.
I know, and my hot take's not going to hit all that hard, but the numbers coming into this, Gentlemates had a lot of disappointment. You talk about the metrics, average score per game, Falcons lead the way with 21.5, Gentlemates 16.1. Average placement, 5th for Falcons, 9th for Gentlemates. They have not done well. So my hot take from Group A was that we were going to see the Ravens not auto-qualify in the top 5. They were going to have to fight their way through survival. They've got a 12-point cushion. I still think they may have to fight their way back in. The Gentlemates, I think, here this weekend are not going to disappoint. I think they finished top 5 in their group. It's not going to hit that hard, obviously, now because they just won the first game.
I mean, Gentlemates teams is still going to be happy, if we're being completely honest, because that is the way that the hometown heroes want to start. And do you believe, Shift, in maybe a possible hometown buff
It very well could be. I think it's just watching them over the course of the last couple of weeks, especially through scrims, they're starting to get more active in the late game to make sure they're in the right positions to win. We saw that perfectly, chipping away down train, making their way back over to the bottom side of the zone where it's free. They're making the right reads, the right moves, and they're ripping teams apart on the way. Great news for G-Mate fans.
And it's going to be great news for G-Mates, and honestly, great news for Falcons, for some of the other squads here as well. I'm looking at AGAL for this squad. This is a squad that we're going to talk about the club championship. Yep. They have started to slow down in regards to other stages, but here they need to start performing as well.
I mean, that's a really tough opening finish for them. They start to get a lot of kills off the get-go, but everyone's staying alive. No one's falling off that leaderboard, and all of a sudden you finish 16th. So I think they got to trust their slaying, got to find the survivability.
And I want you to be the coach right now. I'm going to put you on the spot. You got to be the coach of AGAL. You're going up to them. What are you telling them?
Stay sexy. I don't know.
Hey, that may end up working. You never know what actually ends up working with some of these teams. As long as the confidence is there for some of these squads, they'll be able to bounce back from it. And I'm pretty sure AGL, we're going to be looking to see if they can actually bounce back on this second match of Group B.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Shift and Mr. Seven. I don't know what that last sexy comment was, but I will say this. I know we like seeing good placement. Kills are so important. I'm looking at leaderboards. I'm looking at mathematics. The Falcons only had 8 kills, man. A 1.4x multi doesn't do a whole lot for that. They're barely inside the top 10.
No, I mean, we talked about how top-heavy Group A was. I mean, right out the gates for Group B, you got Gentlemates popping off with 35 points. And then right below that is NIP with 26.6 points coming out of Mansion on top in that contest against the Falcons. Yeah. So where you thought Falcons were doing well just by getting to the end game, they didn't find any kills because NIP were cleaning everything up. And NIP were right there along the way, farming kills, getting their placement. Top 3 was good enough for them to be in second place after game 1.
Yeah, I mean, they played really well. 19 kills out of a chaotic mansion is really impressive. Now, this is something that we almost always have seen in group stages. With a team as confident as the Falcons, I don't know that they will ever go back to boat in group stages. Maybe they do. After a map like that, maybe they swing it right back to boat and they tell G2, get the heck out of here, go play against Gentlemates, make it a little bit more difficult for them. That's very possible. But something that the Falcons like to do in group stages where they know they're going to make it to the next stage, there's no question in their minds, is they get weird. They try to drop on other teams. They go to positions that you haven't seen them before. But of course, the Gentlemates fans are losing their minds because, hey, this is feeling like a lot more of what we saw from the Gentlemates last year. You gotta remember, Gentlemates got second. They got the silver medal at EWC last year. This is a great team, and they've got a great responsibility in front of a crowd like this to really show up on home. And it's so far in map 1, it gives them a huge buffer to be able to play maybe a little inconsistent and be fine on our leaderboard.
This game number 2 is going to be really determined on what our initial zone is going to be looking like. You know, if the Falcons want to go to Mansion again, you talked about how big of a macro change that was for Gentlemates, his having pure freedom of the South, being able to pick and choose which fights they wanted to take. You just had to play Leviathan, you had to play JDG, you win both of those initial fights. That third party was perfect with that really contested match between JDG and Leviathan. So I think that I look at the map going into game number 2. I want to see where this circle is going. Yeah. I want to see where these drops are looking like.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you even can bring up the same conversation with Orchid, right? They're a northern map team. They play in No Name. They play just outside of Research, and they really couldn't get anything going because there is like 15 teams all around Research and into the mix around those train cars on the north side. AGAL was up there just getting weird, and it just caught everybody by surprise. Some of these teams playing a little bit different than they have in scrims or otherwise, which is the name of the game in group stages, especially here at EWC. You got 12 games, folks. There's a little bit of a room for error, but we told you the map through Group A. You need 16 points on average a game. Gentlemates just scored 35, folks. We are dropping into Game 2 here shortly, and I'm pumped to see where this zone goes because this is going to dictate where some of these teams drop.
I like the idea of just having like weeks and weeks of scrims, being like, yeah, this is what we're going to do, guys. This is what you can do. Day 1, group stage, you're like, nah, let's change it up. Let's be weird, and let's make everybody else panic. That's like what the Falcons are thinking.
Well, let's get into it, folks. Our second Havens Hollow map. Everybody flying coming in, ready to rock and roll. Quick look at the map, and whew, things have changed dramatically as we swing, yes, to the north, but this time to research. Half our first circle is out of bounds, folks. Look at G2. They have Boat and Lumber, both of them off rip. The entire south is G2, completely alone down there. It did look like the Falcons went back up to Mansion. But other than that, all teams trying to figure out how the heck do we get to research and when do we get to research.
Yeah, you got 5 teams just lingering around research, 3 teams inside Mansion. Alone on the left side is going to be Nemesis, having to make that long rotation from train station into the circle at some point. And while they do it, they're going to have to cross paths with JDG, which gave them an issue in the last time. And out the gates, for a lot of these drops, just trying to fight for position. We're starting off with AGAL in the barn.
Yeah, and this is where they traditionally land, Barn Chapel area, and so it's a big win this time to actually win against Fnatic and therefore not have to scramble about where to go and where to regame. They did a pretty good job of doing that for a little while and then get last. So a lot of eyes on this team, and it does look like we're down to 15 out of 16 already. We'll try to get a read on which team is already out of here. But if that's true, at least they're doing a little bit better than last time. We take a look at what's going on up at Mansion. It looks quiet just because this POI is big. The Falcons are here. Leviathan here as well, electing to abandon train station, immediately rotate up or land up here at Mansion and be able to play with NIP, who, like you mentioned, look at the scores on the right-hand side. NIP put up a banger map at 19 kills, so they picked up 2 in this one. As the Falcons playing low side after getting put in a little bit of a blender to kick things off.
Yeah, Leviathan are sitting in 3rd place on the leaderboard after game 1, so you can test NIP, maybe take some of their kills away. Like, that's not a bad game plan at all. It's still very early days. Why not change things up before it's too little, too late? So trying to find some positioning, find some space to coexist around the Mansion. Will be Leviathan actually getting walked up on by NIP.
Yeah,
do not want to meet this team the way that they played game 1.
That's just bad timing. He was reloading, turning a corner. Mistake or otherwise. That's a rough one. And we swing around the corner and get another one. NIP getting real mixy, feeling very comfortable in Mansion. They've been repping here for a while now, and they're trying to prove that it is theirs. Go play somewhere else. G2, like I said, they had the entire south side of the map to work with. They've moved all the way up from Boat and Lumber, and they're moving back up to central position. This is the same rotation they did last time, moving up towards Mansion. They played up at Barn, played through Barn, and unfortunately got pushed out of Barn. This time, they're going to play a little bit lower in Trainwreck, trying to prepare for some of these teams that are rotating in from the west.
It's an earlier rotation, too. I think because of that, they're getting that space, that positioning first, and they're actually going to beat JDG here. If they can win this battle versus JDG, that's going to be a big change from game 1.
Vidati on your screen after playing outside of Barn and getting pushed out by AGAL, looking for a few more kills on rotation. Nemesis having to swing in and getting deeply in trouble. This is the problem with a zone like this. If you rotate too late, you're just going to get hamstrung by 3 different teams. And the question is, which one can you win against, and how far can you push through the storm as we swing in from the gas and get up to AGAL, who's holding now from Barn. G2 are in a bit of trouble. We'll swing over to him. There they are. JDG yet again proving a problem in mid-map. They continue to win these weird engagements, knocking some teams out that aren't expecting the ferocity that Melvin & Co. come swinging through with.
Yeah, their rotations are just perfect right now, and they are proving to be an issue through mid-map. Cross Barn, you can see a lot of teams still active as we get getting into the closing portions of this second circle. Minute 24 left before we get into the third, and we get towards closing that resurgence pocket. So just trying to see who can find some space here as things are about to get weird around the barn. AGAL still getting walked up on by Nemesis, but they are gatekeeping them.
Nice pickup there from Showstopper. Trying to maintain some semblance of control over Mansion as it still stays inside of zone. We did see KGV, who are a bit of a blender. They did get full wiped there in 14th. Missing a few teams on the map. Falcon still here, NIP still here, Leviathan still here and still fighting. A moment for all of these teams to try to pick up a couple kills. Criminal God does get cut down. Anxiety's trying to find something in the regain here at Mansion. Yet again, in a blender, G2 getting pushed out of mid, going to Mansion and getting cut down immediately as well. G2, they did get a flyer up onto the map, but that's about it. Scythe way off in the distance now in deep trouble as Showstopper's continuing to hunt down G2 and will get it in time. G2 gone a frustrating Havens Hollow for a team that traditionally puts up solid points.
I'm sure that's something that you're going to go back to the drawing board to figure out what the heck just happened with our Havens. Back-to-back bombs over towards Mansion. So moving around for day 2. Will that be a change up for G2? Looking over towards train station. We do have Gentlemates looking to move into the coal depot, actually, to see if they can play up against Godlike, who wanted to rotate away from Research to look for some positioning outside the circle and some safety nets. But Gentlemates are breathing down their necks, and they are looking to dominate the south side.
Yeah, I mean, this time, this is where they land, right? So this time they get to stay put for a while rather than rotating towards Mansion. The zone has pulled east as Ahsoka wins a nice one over the top. And then the Aussies back to the lobby as well. Still looking for our first multiplier here with one more. As all 3 members of the Falcons still up. Donkey on 6, so doing a better job this time to find kills. At least on 8 as a trio. And actually, I'll call it 7. Noobs with not a kill to his name yet. 1 for Soka, 6 for Dongi. So need one more to match last map. And then they got second. Plenty of room still to find some more kills on the map, especially still having to fight through NIP and Leviathan.
You actually got, we were hyping up JDG. They're starting to get contested by AGAL, who've just been sitting up in barns. So you look at JDG, who've been fantastic on this rotation through the streets in towards Research across this stream. AGAL are trying to prove to be an issue, and they're actually pinching them between 3 other trios. So if JDG, if this gets messy for you, you have potential to get third party. You gotta be very careful with your next move.
Unfortunately, holders get held, man. They just rotated too late. They were trying to hold the western side of the map, picked up a couple kills in transition, but then were too late to move. Now they're getting held. Classic Warzone story to see if AGAL can find their way out of it. Certainly JDG continue to find kill after kill. It's actually a PA that cleans up 1 of this Leviathan roster, but they're striking back. Criminal God has found an angle. He's on 4. He's gonna try to push this fight, especially with Slappy down. Even though Dark's out, he could find that frag, doesn't get it. Gonna get actually a buyback on Dark, not wasting any time.
Yeah, it's gonna be important for Leviathan as well as JDG to find some sort of positioning inside of Research. Criminal God's gonna get picked off by the Precisions. That buyback does not make a difference. Still just 2 players left for Leviathan, but with players starting to move away from the Mansion and Barn, you just cannot be in this position right now for your Leviathan. You gotta find some space in Research.
Let's do a quick listen in with the Falcons to see what's going on in their heads.
D2, fuck up. Eddie, keep watching the attic. You should try to zip up in the attic, Eddie. And just glitch it.
Go one. I haven't heard shit. There's a guy at G2 side.
Yo, crossing out G2 here. That's showing them. That's show.
We cracked him, 1 shot.
Okay, I'm gonna try to take space. Yeah, the team Mansion went to G2. At least a couple of them.
Small plats free, small plats free.
Shooting me from the train. We gotta cross again. The other kid in front is gonna shell us. Oh, I'm gonna try to cross again one more time.
The guy on your left. I cracked him on your left. 1 shot on the train. Knocked him.
I heard you. Stay there, Dong. Stay there, Dong. And the red train card on my danger. Okay, be careful your right. Okay, I heard you.
Knocked on green ping.
I heard you. I'm trying to stay down. Yo, Ed, your small might be clear. Clear. I can't lie.
I think it is.
There's at least 2 G2. That's one of them. Nice. Another one right here at the red train car. I got one of them. He's on this cracked. Cracked him in the red train car. Okay, I heard you. They could be under you, small Eddie. Yeah, we're missing 1. There's 1 G2. We're missing.
What did we hear from the comms? A ton of intel pointing out where do we go, how do we get there, which teams are crossing, and which ones can we pick off in transition. Through all of those comms, they got a ton of intel and 2 kills to boot, and we can actually see that they are the only team now on the north side outside of Research, so they're going to be outside looking in. Look at this zone pull. They're actually going to be in zone playing for multi now. The question is, can they pick up more kills?
Yeah, you can choose whether or not to play towards the waterfall, play towards the back trains. You got a lot of people going to be walking in front of you with AG Global still trying to vie for some position over towards the top shack. They're going to walk right into Gentlemates, actually still fighting for the south side. This is something that they did back in game 1. They're doing it once again. FIFA Kill brings it into a 2-on-2 for this battle.
FIFA Kill in a great spot over the top and actually almost scans Grom, gets out in the open for a hair too long to get the buyback. And it would have been a loss to go for that buy and not stay alive. Can he get anything for it? FIFA get cut down by the Falcons though, and Grom trades Ezekiel. Picks up the final on night. Down go AGAL with a little bit of help from the Falcons. The Gentlemates win an engagement that shouldn't have been very difficult. They're able to find their way out, and now they own the western side of the map. The Falcons, the north. Everybody else is dead center of research.
Yeah, both Gentlemates and Falcons have great position outside of research, and you imagine that the zone most likely is going to pull away from this building. So with Gentlemates on the ultimate height, they're going to be able to watch anybody who wants to leave this. But first, they're going to look at the Gentlemates.
Gentlemates selling one yet again to play out in the open. Falcons doing a great job to pick up these easy kills. Again, that's 3 different kills. Basically, untrained, can they get another one? Master 5K with a little bit of an assist there, puts the Gentlemates down to 1. Out in the open, proves difficult for the Gentlemates to find what piece of cover they need to stick behind, getting shot from multiple angles. And now Hollow's gonna wait out this next zone pull. And it goes outside of research, or at least mostly. The Falcons, yet again with a zone pull, find themselves into a power position, waiting on everybody else. And usually you would say, much like last map, this is a bit too slow for them for these points to matter, but they've found 4 or 5 now, just by people being too far out in the open and Dongi shooting straight. But look at research.
That's 7 trios still existing inside of research. And Falcons, their ultimate height is still going to be in that circle. So Gentlemates are looking for position inside the rankings, but no, they're going to get caught. Hollow's out. Gentlemates are out. No back-to-back for the Gentlemates. And now with the Falcons, all they got to do is wait to see what comes out from this research.
This is where Orchid lands. They play up near research. Been battling in a position here since the very beginning of the map. It's actually Leviathan getting full team wipes off screen. Volcom now on screen, getting traded out from the backside. Master 5K here as well, finding the angle on Volcom's back. Nice trade from a roster that has been deadly since Atlanta. We'll see what NIP can do, who also made a great rotation to the bottom side here of research. I'm going to trade out, actually. Looks like at least 1 player of Gamax.
And inside this final circle, you got Falcons, NIP, and Leviathan all rounding out that top 5 of this leaderboard still. So this would be a big game for if any of them can walk away with a win.
Good grief, look at this zone. Falcons actually lose 1 in transition. A great find over the top from Orchid. Again, they've had this height position on research that gives them a bunch of intel over the top. And actually just gonna go for the kill. Swizzen full sends this, picks up 1, should pick up 2, no problem. The third, though, Showstopper makes a big play on Swizzen. Orchid at least lose 1 with a very aggressive play. We say you gotta play for kills, but look at the placements. You cannot fall at 6 here. You need the multiplier. Sario's running straight into danger. Swizzen barely alive and barely breathing, but finding kills, he's still alive. As NIP also on 1 HP to Dream. Showstopper using all of his stims to stay up for a moment, and then finally goes down. JDG striking, and all of a sudden we went from 6 teams to 2, and the Falcons have their prey in their talents. The Falcons win game 2 after a 2nd place game 1.
That was a cluster of energy that went into that last final circle. You can't say that for the Falcons. They're chilling everybody down. But research was busy. And you had teams fighting for that win to see if they can get themselves through that top 3 into that #1 pole position, exiting Havens Hollow. JDG with a 2nd place finish. That is going to be big for them as they were sitting in 3rd place going into that 2nd game. And with Leviathan as well, looking to knock down Gentlemates, looking to knock down NIP. I can't wait to see what this does to our standings.
Yeah, that's gotta feel good if you're the Falcons. Play through Mansion, play up at a just diabolical research zone.
Free.
And then they get the pulls again. There's something about this Falcons team, man. They get the pulls every single time. Now, traditionally speaking, when we see the zone pull up towards research, you don't see a research building ending. It does usually pull out. And I mean, I have to say this. I'm gonna get made fun of in the green room because I use this every broadcast. But the layer cake that is Research Center is truly the best way to describe what happened. You counted out 7 teams all stacked on top of each other, and I like the aggressiveness from some of these rosters to just full tilt, full sin, knowing they need the points, because they're just trying to get top 5. I mean, you need kills. Why not just full sin and see what happens?
You got to give a lot of respect to the teams that were able to make it into research. You had Leviathan there who dropped Mansion.
NIP.
They were scrambling to get some regain. You had NIP also dropping struggled to regain back over towards research, but they got it done. And JDG, who starts over by Church pretty much in the Straits bowling alley, and they make it all the way across to research to make it into top 2. Like, that is tippy out of these teams to survive.
Well, listen into the celebrations at the end of this one.
Good shit. Come on. It's tough, though. Come on.
Sportsbook. No huge celebrations because they knew they were going to win that one. I mean, they had it in the bag for a while. Last 3 zones even, especially when they picked up Gentlemates in transition. Golly. That's got to be a brutal one for the Gentlemates who desperately wanted to go back-to-back, but they still put up a couple kills. Everything was mostly fine. I think the biggest question mark is G2 coming out of Haven's Hollow, probably near bottom of the leaderboard. Wild to even say that out loud for a team that's been dominating on a map like this. We'll see whether they're able to swing back in their form in Rebirth Island.
You gotta chalk it up a little bit to that zone pull RNG as well. I mean, how unlucky is it that you drop Riverboat back-to-back and you're forced to rotate early into Mansion in both games? Like, that is not easy for anybody to do. And in game 2, like, you just look at the way that JDG is playing, you look at the way that AG Global are playing, and the way that they're able to command the middle of the map through Barn. Like, you are making a rotation there if you're G2 across some very strong slaying, some very strong gatekeeping teams. So it's like, you're walking out of Havens, like, that was a tough game. I hope that they don't hang their heads low because it's a bad scenario. It's unlucky.
But yeah, especially when JDG's playing like this. JDG picked up 7th in Atlanta, but since then have been looking like they're in final form, including today. It's a good call. G2 did play from the south side of the map to the north, both maps. Technically speaking, Rebirth Island has actually been their best map for the course of the series. So they're actually, I believe, one of the top ranked teams on Rebirth Island as well. And today, I would even venture to say there's a chance they could be free because they play up at Bio, and not a lot of teams are playing Bio these days. Well, with all of that in mind, though, so many fun conversations. There's a lot more we got to talk about. We're going to take a very quick look at some content as we get into Game 3 here shortly and take a look at Rebirth Island.
He can come in here and play my game. He knows nothing but go! Tyler won. You're done.
Welcome back, everyone, to the ESports World Cup 26. Miles and Enigma here. We're with the Gentlemates fans. Not a bad map.
No, not at all. Great map one, of course, for them. They've got to see their team take that map here in Paris, France. We knew that they would be under a lot of pressure, but when you're backed by a crowd like this, you feel that passion, you feel that blood run through your veins, and you're ready to step out and deliver, and they're doing exactly that.
Now, I want to ask a fan here, sir, what do you think the squad need to do to find the win?
Je pense qu'ils doivent se servir de l'énergie du public. Ils savent quoi faire, c'est le meilleur roster du monde et nous on sera là pour les soutenir et ils vont tout arracher.
Bonne chance, bonne chance. Did you get that?
Picked up about 4 words. I'm working on it. I'm getting a little bit better with the French. A word here and there. Thomas in particular helps me out a little bit, but I'll be honest with you now, I'm a little bit lost.
The Duolingo is not helping. I mean, what do you think, though, of the match so far? Falcons obviously sitting up top there. A big 21.
Yeah, I think the second map in particular showed classic Falcons. They rotate out of action, take the north side of the zone, and walk in with the gas and lock everybody else out. It's what they do. They've been doing this for years. So for the closer for good reason. There is, of course, going to be great competition for them here. But while they look like that, we can expect them through to Sunday.
And he is my resident subject matter expert. I mean, as we saw in Group A, Group B here as well, it seems to be the top dogs on top so far. Are you expecting much of a change in the next few months?
No, I think that we are seeing those sides that were under pressure deal with that incredibly well. We have, of course, got your Falcons, your Twisted Minds up towards the top. I don't see that changing much, and to be fair, when you sit in this room and you feel the energy, any team that was going to come into this an underdog going to feel a little bit more uncomfortable when these fans are doing incredible things to back their sides and not wanting you to do anything out there on the map.
A huge thank you to all the fans who have turned up here, and the noise you are making is something very, very special. We've still got plenty of games to play here on the first day of Warzone, but mate, any surprises? Anything that shocked you as a real resident Warzone player?
I think the Ninjas in Pajamas are just being incredibly bold and aggressive, getting at the Falcons and taking it to them. Fair play, we want to see it right now. Top teams on top.
We are ready to roll. Can we get one more, gentlemates? How are we feeling? Going in to the next map. It's back to the casters.
All right, Gentlemate's so loud I can't hear myself think, and that's the way we want it here in France, folks. Paris has been a dream. Haven's Hollow, a dream for some, and a nightmare for others. You see teams like NIP on top of our leaderboard by a couple points over Falcons, with JD Gaming in third overall. Gentlemate's still finding their way to the top 5 with Leviathan. But, I mean, we got godlike new icons down at the bottom of the leaderboard trying to turn things around going into Rebirth Island.
I think that we knew that a couple of these rosters coming out from regions that may be a little bit less practiced than, you know, NA and EU who've been at WRS for, you know, Birmingham and Atlanta. Like, it would be a little bit of talk. Godlike's a big surprise. You didn't get to see too much of Nate Dogg or Intex really kick off. They were just scrambling off the gates yet again back on Rebirth, or on Haven's Hollow. But now we go to Rebirth Island and we see if a lot of these teams can maybe bounce back after those first 2 maps. Maybe it was a little bit unlucky zone pulls. You guys struggled to get those rotations going. We talked about that with G2, and I think a lot of people will be looking at going into the second wave with a different mindset.
All right, biggest question in my mind is where the heck are the Falcons dropping? They usually drop Kim alone. Nobody likes to contest them, but did they change things up just to put everybody on their heels? Rebirth Island is here, folks. We've seen it 1,000 times, and likely we'll see it 1,000 more, but today, only twice. We get into the first map. Will G2 be alone up at Bio? Will the Gentlemates be alone in living quarters? And will the Falcons land right on top of the Gentlemates' head just to throw them off balance? Let's drop in to our first Rebirth Island map of Group B. It does look like the Falcons are returning to form up at Kim all alone.
Yeah, they're going to have Fnatic just below them in Harbor, and Orchid maybe giving them a look from top of Prison. G2 back to basics over at Bio. A lot of teams just kind of sitting down looking for their drop spots. The big thing's going to be Stronghold for me, because you look at Gentlemates, who had a fantastic Haven's Hollow. They drop living quarters and they're already contesting Lev down low and strong.
And we'll swing over there when we get the chance, but of course we got to take a look at Control Center. It's hotly contested in both groups. And even in this one, Trick Empathy, we talked about Godlike, we talked about a team at the bottom of the leaderboard. Trick Empathy is one of an individual basis, one that usually is at the top. As an individual, has been a hero for this team, and a lot of folks have been chattering about what he could be able to do even with a different roster. Today, that roster's struggling on the chaos of Haven's Hollow. We take a look, though, at maybe what they could do from both. Here's a look at the factory side as we take a look at, looks like maybe VC could get active here and go play for somebody else. The problem is they're getting stabbed in the back just repeatedly by the Falcons, who are bored. So do need to be careful about this factory play. When the Falcons get comfortable, they do swing up on JDG and win an engagement, a 3v1 with one more outside. JDG do need to stay alive if they can, and they're actually in deep trouble. They're third up, floating in the skies.
Yeah, he's just going to float his way on down, let everybody else research, just get back into the flow of things. JDG had a fantastic map 1 and map 2. Don't expect them to fall so early on Rebirth. All 16 teams still alive. Everybody's looking for the loadouts, and for VC, they're going to be primed and ready to go in the docks of Factory. Leviathan, who are out in Stronghold. Yeah, it went up against Mates. It looks like they're going to go up against Mates yet again.
Yeah, I mean, this is classic, right? Gentlemates up in living quarters. Leviathan down in Stronghold. Striking first, Criminal God, the Fragger, coming up to get busy. Their anchor nice and safe in Stronghold with no one within a country mile. So let's send the rookie out to go make some big plays. Doing great today. Let's see if they can keep up that momentum. This is feeling a lot more like Birmingham for this roster and a lot less like Atlanta.
And that's what we want to see out of Criminal God, especially vying for that Rookie of the Year position. Gentlemates have actually backed all the way down, and you can see that we got a little bit of a push in from AGAL.
For Fun just got wiped, folks. For Fun getting conned at, I think it was Turbine still. Nothing changed for them, but they're losing the early engagement. A lot of eyes on For Fun to step up in a big way in a stronger lobby. So far, not the case. See if they can turn things around in the second map of Rebirth, as they are the first team out. Trick Empathy continuing to find some regainers on the outside of Boat. A couple kills here, a couple kills there, maybe all you need as the Aussies swim away.
Group B, not For Fun just yet. So again, we just kind of like look at Rebirth, and a lot of teams have actually been contesting each other on these rotations. I'm still looking at G2. We're looking for the bounce back as they're going to go from the north side in towards Turbine. They've already backed AG Global away. Anxiety has been in the kill feed a lot. KGV, big kills up against Nemesis. Kazu playing into control.
Got a sniper on main, cracking plates, and that's about it. Smash Burger Dad 78 is a ridiculous tactic. All right, good luck here, Gooey. I can appreciate the plays. We'll swing back over to the Vicious, see what they're able to do here on the map. Quick look at the map feed, though. You can see where everybody's positioned. G2 was up at Bio. They've elected to rotate in. Looks like Anchor swinging through Industries, getting told that, hey, Turbine's free. Come rotate to us, or we'll hold it down for you while you make your way this direction. Big Man actually finding one in transition as well, so watch out for that G2 roster who desperately needs points. While still on main, the Vicious hunting down a couple solos. Couple of individuals. Fnatic maybe in trouble or causing it. Let's see. One Resolve gets it, but gets traded out immediately. Great job there from the Vicious, playing together well here on Rebirth Island.
And Criminal God stays alive just enough for Leviathan to not get outed just yet. Predict trying to keep Solds alive here for VC. Solds just sitting inside the boat. Enough time to your teammates to bring themselves back into the map, but this has been a chaotic Rebirth Island so far, and everybody just crossing paths. Circle still very much central. Nothing really to look at in terms of where do you want to set up this positioning. A lot of teams going to be playing still through Prison for Control, for Factory, Living Quarters. Lots of positions still open. And I think we saw new icons get eliminated there, so we're down to 14 trios now.
Right now it's an anchor game. Everybody having their fraggers out on the map, try to go get some kills. Godlike in a bit of trouble up here at Boat. Nate Dogg gonna have to be a hero. Trick Empathy plates back up. We're trying to hunt down the last remaining members of this Gamax roster. Maybe a thorn in the side, but at least Godlike haven't had to leave the boat since the beginning of the map, and they found kills to boot. So, hey, keep challenging us is probably what they're saying. We need the points. They're able to all stay up, stabilize, take boat back, and wait for what this new zone offers. They don't really need to move if people keep coming this direction, so they're going to chill here. Love to see if we can swing out. There it is, to Stronghold to see what's going on. Leviathan have their two fraggers up into the map. They've lost their lives a couple times, one floating back in, it looks like over the top of Living Quarters, but Amir can't really leave. He's in a very strong position if the zone didn't pull up towards Central, like Seymour said, so he's going to have to go for a dip, go for a swim, see if he can find his way up to safety. Unfortunately, there's a couple more folks in the water trying to do the same as per the usual here on Rebirth Island. So Amir, swim well, my friend, and Godspeed. I just wish you the best.
And when you're in Rebirth Island, when in doubt, swim it out. Leviathan still not eliminated as well. I mean, they still are holding on to their life.
You saw a quick glance up at HQ to see NIP holding down HQ for free. This time, NIP unconned at their usual drop spot at HQ. Have a nice power position. The big question is how many kills have they been able to pick up through the course of this map as Zedar continues to swim for his life. I know we love looking at these folks in the water with a pistol. Wow. I use this stat often. We've been talking about it in the green room. This pistol is the third ranked weapon on Rebirth Island because of this right here. It happens over and over and over again. The people go swimming thinking they can live a bit longer and their teammates can get back to the map, but unfortunately for a team like Gamax, they will finally all get wiped together and therefore be out of the lobby.
Down to 13 trios. Circle heading into the third. Now as we're going to be close to closing that Resurgence pocket. And it's still pretty central. I mean, you got Control Center, Prison, Turbine, lots of places to sit and wait. The big thing is now we have to bring into the conversation teams like Falcons now having to leave Chemical Engineering, move up the mountain, and they're being contested by Orchid, JDG, another team that has to make some moves. They're walking into VC. Predict goes down, Slappy in the feed, alongside Melvin with 2 kills, trying to move their way inside Factory and inside the safe zone.
quick look back at control. What's been happening for KGV? Been able to hold down middle control.